Hello, everybody, and welcome to HighRollers. This is the regular 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons campaign here on the Yogscast Twitch. I am your Dungeon Master, Mark Sherlock Humes, and we have this week Kim.
Hi.
Katie.
Hi.
And Chris Trout.
Hi.
Hi. Trout.
Welcome, friends. Ready for another exciting game in the Lightfall campaign.
Correct.
Hope you've been enjoying all of the Uncharted Territory videos that we've been doing as well, all the streams. Those are available on both the Dungeons & Dragons Twitch VOD and will be available on Yogs Live. They normally take a couple of days just to get out, so they'll be out sometime next week. Next week, we will not have a Katie here. She's away doing Insomnias in Scotland.
Insomnia Resonate in Glasgow next weekend, so if you're there and you think you see me, you probably do see me. Hi. And then I'm staying in Scotland to visit my parents, so I'm not here for both streams next week, but these guys are still going to be here.
Yes, and we should be we'll get somebody in. We'll get someone in.
Someone.
So there's that. Kim's yawning, obviously.
Sorry.
That's all right. That's exactly the type of energy we need. Just everyone feeling really tired. I know. Couple of other things. Don't forget, we've got all of our merch available on store.yogscast.com if you want to pick up a cool HighRollers shirt. We've got the wristbands, we've got the posters, loads of really good stuff on there.
We should get a mug.
We should get a mug. We're going to get a mug. We'll get a mug.
It's just, we haven't
Figure
actually all conferred. Mike has asked us a few times.
I have a mug.
Kim has a mug.
It's on the store now.
I've got a
Hat
mug.
Films have new t-shirts.
Chris,
well.
that Chris Trott himself has designed.
I did design that. Artistic genius.
Yeah, that's one way to describe you. Artistic genius.
It's the only way.
Yeah. Don't forget as well to check out HighRollers on Uncharted Territory. That's on Fridays at 8 p.m. BST. 12 p.m. PDT if you're in the Americas. That is our mini-series spin-off that we're doing with Wizards of the Coast.
Min-off.
It's our Minoths that we are doing with Wizards of the Coast to promote their new Tomb of Annihilation. It's very exciting, and there's loads of great D&D content on their Twitch stream throughout the week. Recap.
Matt's in it.
And Matt's in it. Recap. I can vaguely remember what happened because I didn't actually write notes for the recap this week.
Oh my god.
You guys have been dealing with some stuff in Talis Val, helping Cassandra locate some missing Lightborn children, and also just kind of catching up on some of the kind of political shenanigans going on in the city. You guys returned to Finney's Tavern, where you've been staying, where a strange man was waiting in the bar for you. After a little bit of back and forth, and he basically agreed to leave, Laura and Juto went upstairs to ensure that he hadn't been doing anything suspicious in their rooms, and he took the opportunity to attack Cam Buckland. You guys fought this Assassino, which was a bit of a comedy of errors for both parties, I feel, as he attempted to escape. And there was lots of being trapped.
He had a skull.
He had a flaming skull that got trapped inside a water elemental Elora. Cam got knocked down quite a few times.
3, I think.
Into the smoke I go.
Yeah, attack of opportunity.
The smoke clears and I'm on the floor.
Yeah. Juto chased him down and managed to deal with it, and with some help of some locals, managed to get him arrested and carted off to Champion's Keep. You found out he'd been hired by Falania and the Broken Sky to try and, capture Cam Buckland and possibly eliminate Elora and Juto and
Did we try and hire him as well?
No,
you spoke to him about it.
Him,
yeah.
But
he was like, he wants to be on the winning side.
He wants to be paid.
Yeah, he wants to be on Falania's side for now because she seems to be winning.
Yeah, but he did say that if you wanted to pay him considerable money, he would consider
He might consider switching sides, but it was a lot of money.
Yeah.
Oui.
You guys then did a bit of shopping for some supplies, including a crystal ball, so that Elora could attempt a scrying spell on her father Alphadon to locate where he is, which was successful. And you discovered that he was in a ruined, kind of a badly damaged village with a burnt wheat field and a manor that had been attacked that he took refuge in, and you deduced that it was indeed Veldaban, where you had recently been fighting off the Broken Sky, a northern town quite close to the mountains that lead into the Troubled Lands, kind of snowy northern area. Kim.
What?
Playing with my shit.
Walls.
Break walls down, mate.
And that was it. That was literally, well, no, I realised that that's all I had left, because that was the end of the session, was you locating where Alphadon was.
And then that decision of
Yes, but
what
we hadn't.
next.
There was no decision made.
That's what I mean, it was left
It
on
was
the
left
cliffhanger.
what you should do. And so we return. You guys are in Finney's Tavern, having just witnessed all of this information. And I pass the torch to you players to discuss what you would like to do.
Where did that come from?
My mouth.
Oh.
You had that there for a long time.
No,
Okay.
seconds.
Anyway, how did I go and give the letter to people?
So
For
you
this.
wanted to send a letter to your mother and the
To
Leastry.
Leastry, and I wanted to inform Korak, Cassandra, and Lady Amy about
What you'd seen.
what I'd seen.
So are you all
So I
going
wanna-
to do that? All together?
I mean, you saw the. Oh yeah, we just finished scrying, haven't we? So, okay.
If
have
you need
literally
time,
just finished
Laura,
scrying.
to soak this in, I appreciate that it's a lot. We can give you some time.
So, the time that they are giving me is when I'm going to write that letter. I've already sent it to you.
So you go off into your
So
room.
yeah, I'm going to take a moment to myself and then write that,
Mhm.
and then come back and see these guys.
Well, I didn't actually expect you to walk away.
And she,
Have
as
some
Cam
time.
says that, Laura just goes into a room and is there for like a good 15, 20 minutes and then emerges again.
It's pretty intense.
I'm just teaching my chinchilla tricks.
Okay, make an animal handling check. And what trick are you trying to teach it?
To like sit up.
Okay.
I am, when
Ooh.
Juto's not looking, doing the classic anti-behavioural thing of just giving him treats all the time.
19.
Okay. As Cam is doing that, just give me another animal handling check. Well, just roll a d20 again.
Plus 8 is 26.
Despite you kind of catch Cam in the act, and so you adjust what you're doing.
Go on.
And it stops taking the treats off you.
Doesn't like eating anymore.
He doesn't like you.
I think it wants to starve to death rather than be your pet.
Come on, count two. Sit.
It sits up.
No,
What?
Good
Have you possessed
boy.
it?
He listens to me. He does
Is this
not
the
listen to
new-
fools.
Is it crown rent?
Maybe I should call it crap.
Is it evil
no.
incarnate?
No.
No,
Don't call it Cam anymore.
it is a chinchilla. It is Cam 2.
Look at his eyes though, the eyes of death.
Stares up, these big black pools. Black.
Those
inky
eyes have seen
darkness.
shit.
It's in the inside of my pocket.
To come to think of it, I found it on the streets, ready and willing to join the party. It's an insurgent, it's a spy. Let's kill it now.
Are you a spy, Cam 2?
It just like eats the treat.
Keep your eyes peeled.
Okay.
You
I'm
literally
gonna go-
walk out into this conversation.
Did you manage to teach it?
Sit, Cam 2.
Sits up.
It watched the whole scrying. Oh god. It knows. It knows everything.
It's a chinchilla.
Yeah, to you. To me, it's from the nine hells.
Sit, Cam!
I sit.
I'll give you a treat.
Thank you, I was hungry.
You eat a very
could-
bitter tasting pet store treat.
You could train him with grapes quite easily, probably.
Oh, yes. That was an excellent idea.
Offer him grapes. Anyway.
Are
So-
you okay, Lady Blanadel?
I have written some letters to people who I think need to know about this, and I think we need to go and figure out this Lightborn thing.
Are you sure?
As much as I want to go after my father, if I do that, those children have nobody. They've got no help. Nobody is capable of fighting on their behalf. They're not capable of fighting. I really want to go and fix my family, but I'm trying to do the noble thing.
It's an honourable thing, and as much as I do like your dad, and your family is most important to you, they are children. And your dad is strong, he's brave, and he's clearly got a mind of his own at the moment, where he's still running away from a potential problem. So I think he's safer than children are.
I've asked Nilistri if he can spare men to go and try and track him, knowing where he is. But I don't know if that's going to take a while to arrive. He'll probably be gone by then. We'll see.
But we have a better lead than we did.
I'm covering Camchilla's ears.
Okay. You just
Stop.
like pin the little ears down. It kind of like gets pushed down against the table.
Why are you covering the chinchilla's ears?
Just in case it hears it.
Do you think the chinchilla's a spy?
Yes.
Okay, I'm just gonna let that happen. Okay.
I'm just gonna let that happen. Okay.
If the chinchilla's not trying to get away, then
It looks uncomfortable. Like it's like he's pinning his ears, kind of like to his little face. He's kind of like not resisting, but it clearly doesn't like it that much.
I'm just gonna I'm gonna scooch my chinchilla and take it back.
scooch him back.
Get off!
To be fair, all
It
the
snuggles up
important news.
against like Juto's hand, crawls up on a sleeve.
Yeah, it's working its magic on you, isn't it? I knew it. Working its way in. It's gonna kill you at some point. Hope you realise.
And don't think the chinchilla's gonna kill anybody, but the Broken Sky are gonna kill lots of people if we don't
Correct.
deal with that.
All right.
I need to give these letters to Korak and Cassandra, Lady Amy, because she's the only one who can stop this lycanthropy from happening. I need to send these letters off before we go.
Is there a magical thing that you can throw them in so they appear in their laps?
No.
Much like the messenger thing that was in the Elven Spires, they had some magics.
Yeah, but that was in an Elven Spire. This isn't an Elven Spire.
The communication networks and the spies go spire to spire.
I can talk to some people with my new roguish developments.
Or could you just deliver the letters?
I think we'll just...
No. Send Camchilla.
I'd quite like to find Korak anyway before we go.
Oh, we are in Talisval.
Yes.
That's
yes,
true.
we are.
All right.
Not saying
What?
It's not saying it.
Cool.
That
Neutral
assassin
DM.
really did a number on
Look, I'm on
me.
edge, okay?
It's
I got
understandable.
stabbed. And that's why I think Camchilla,
So
Should be wary.
how are you doing on the hit points, boys? Because you guys took a short rest, I believe. You've not had a long rest.
Right.
But it's evening now, isn't it?
It is evening.
So-
past half of my health is gone.
Okay. I just want to make sure remind you guys you haven't had a long rest, so any spell slots you used
No,
are
I've
all
still got
gone.
stuff.
Your elemental, your B shapes. Oh no, you get those back on short rest, don't you?
No,
So-
we had a long rest
Yeah, we had
because
one.
because we scried the day.
Oh, that's
after.
it. Yes, you went the
So
day after. Yes,
I've got
so
my
it's actually
scrying marked
yeah.
off,
So
so-
you did your scrying about midday, so
Yeah,
it's only
so-
late afternoon
Sweet.
at best. or early
Can we go
afternoon, I
to
should say.
Champion's Hold?
Okay,
or
so you guys-
wherever Korak
He's stomping around.
is.
Mm-hmm.
Last
Not
time we saw him,
Champion's
he was
Hold
in a bar.
directly.
Laying low, wasn't he?
Not in a
No,
bar. No.
that was last
Oh, he was
year.
fighting cats
That was like
Yeah.
at the
He was at the guard barracks.
Yes.
guard barracks. Should we start there?
yeah. Should we?
I've been really shook up from this assassin thing.
So you're going to head back to the guard barracks.
Actually, let's head back to the Temple of Bahamut.
Bahamut. Okay. Yeah, you guys make your way through the city.
Cassandra.
It's early afternoon. The streets, the weather is cloudy, overcast, a bit chilly. Not a particularly pleasant summer's day, as you've expected. You make your way through the bustling city. Again, noting that sort of on-edge atmosphere of the citizens. There is less jovial jokes and nature and less shouting. It's more kind of business as normal. Anything like a big city after dangerous events have taken place. When you leave the tavern, there are a number of guard going around asking questions. They are sort of taking statements from people based on yesterday's events. And yeah, you kind of make your way past that. Takes you maybe an hour or so to head up towards the Temple of Bahamut near the center of the city in the main districts. The temple itself isn't it's guarded by its own military force. It's guarded by its own paladins and knights and things like that. So you don't have to worry about the actual city watch or the guild's guards that are protecting it. And you guys are known there. You make your way inside. There are several young priests, sort of like lower acolytes, giving sermons, taking confessions, and generally speaking with populace. There's a lot of people in the temple. You've noticed this the last couple of times you've gone. People seem quite worried, and people are turning to the temple itself as a bastion of sort of safety and reassurance. You ask around. It's pretty easy to find Cassandra and Lady Amy. Lady Amy is kind of kept not away from everybody else, but only a few of the priests really interact with her, and they know that she's they see her as some sort of like special envoy to the champion and to the high priest. But Cassandra is very well known. She's often training squires and young knights and things like that. So who do you want to go speak to first? Because they are in different places. Cassandra's out training.
Laura's the lead.
Yeah, I'm following Laura.
Actually, I'm going to speak to Lady Amy first because she's more aware of what's going on.
Okay. You make your way up to... she has a small shrine up in the upper kind of... what do they call them in a church? Upper bit.
Okay, we
You
can think.
get the idea of like, the kind of, where you've got like the second floor
Upstairs?
basically. Like the second floor of the temple
upstairs.
basically. But I'm sure there's a special church
It
word
probably
for
is.
it.
There definitely is.
And
but-
you know that she has a small shrine room off one of these that looks out onto the courtyard gardens, has stained glass windows and a small platinum shrine to Bahamut. And as you approach, you hear a conversation between her and Korak. Once again, you can just hear the kind of, you recognize like it's very unusual, a Dragonborn voice, that kind of gravelly warrior voice. And you do hear sort of like the murmurings, not quite enough to make out the words, but you can sense that he and Lady Amy are having a conversation within the room.
Well, you didn't need to write 2 letters. You just give them the one, and they could have, one read it. You read it now.
Knock on the door.
There's like, the voices go quiet for a moment, and then you just hear sort of a cough, and then you just hear like Lady Amy saying, like, please come in.
I'm staying outside.
Why?
I just don't want to see them. I have no need.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Where's
Yeah,
the
I'll
sword?
just I'll go in.
I'll keep guard.
Okay.
Go into.
Okay, so the two of you make your way in.
Wait. Give me the chinchilla.
As Cam's like, wait, as the door opens, you see Lady Amy is there, wearing her kind of long white robes, basically her kind of markings on show, and you can actually see that her eyes were just about reverting back to their human eyes. It looked like she might have had her draconic eyes. And Korak is kind of sat on like a set of stone, wooden benches, beautifully engraved. And you can see he's got his Dawn Blade, the crystalline sword, with him. He's in his full armor as well, and he's just kind of there, seems to be quietly, like, hands clasped together, kind of speaking. Lady Amy smiles when she sees you both, and she's just like, Lady Laura, Miss Juto, please come in. The champion's just in a bit of a prayer.
Quick glance before, like,
Oh yeah, you get a glance
looking
in.
back outside the door.
Yeah. I mean, are you looking for anything in particular?
No,
or
just looking at Lady Amy and then back
Oh yeah,
up.
yeah. She looks as resplendent, as beautiful as ever.
Quick
A
glance at
draconic
Korak.
presence kind of shining through, even through her shape change form. Korak is, you can see him that he's kind of got his head bowed in a prayer.
Big sword, loads of armor.
Yeah.
I mutter,
just
compensating under my breath. And sniff.
They gesture you. Lady Amy gestures you in and just kind of steps to meet you and just whispers like, "The champion's just saying a brief prayer. Do you want to speak?" And she gestures to outside towards Cam.
Yeah, of course.
Okay. She like leads out and she's like, "Camulus," and shuts the door behind her.
Oh, Lady Amy, it's so nice to see you.
A pleasure as
Alone.
always. How can I help you?
So the information that you gave me regarding my father,
Yes, and her expression darkens and becomes quite serious.
I've actually attempted, I managed to do a scrying spell for the first time, and
Excellent.
he's in Veldeban at the moment.
She like looks and she's like, "That's where you've just come from, isn't it? The business with the dwarves."
Yes, it seems like it's deserted. There were no dwarves in the visions. He's wounded.
Are you off to
And-
find him? Are you setting off to locate him now?
No, that's why I've come to see you and Cassandra. With what's going on with the broken sky, with what we're helping Cassandra with, I can't leave that responsibility to go and find him. But I don't want nobody to know what I've seen.
She like nods. She's like, "I understand. We should tell Korak as well. The champion would want to know, and I'm sure he'll do anything he can to help you and your father. If there's anything I can do, you obviously know of my vows, but I'm more than happy to lend you the aid of the heart, the device that I used to free Queen Shalana. Anything I can do to assist you, I'm more than happy."
Yes. Are you the only one who can use that?
No, in fact, anyone who is a servant of Bahamut can use it, and Lady Cassandra herself would be able to use it as well.
Reynard?
It requires a certain amount of dedication.
Skill.
One needs to be able to channel divine energies. Camulus, although he's not a servant of Bahamut, would likely be able to use the device as well.
I know.
It is engineered so that anyone who is a practitioner of the faith, of a faith, can use it.
That's encouraging to know that you wouldn't need to break a vow and enter combat to be able to help.
I would, and she just places a hand on your shoulder. She was like, I would gladly go with Korak or with anyone you send to find your father. I'm just afraid I wouldn't be able to do much beyond offer healing and a few spells here and there. But I'd be more than willing to go if you wanted me to.
We will have to speak to Cassandra. She said that she wasn't able to leave, but...
I know that the High Priest is concerned with the broken sky here. He is aware of my true nature, but I don't think he finds it much of a comfort knowing that I can do little, and I would likely scare half the populace if I were to transform. I'll go get Korak. Give me a moment. And she opens the door and steps inside. You can hear her kind of like trot down. She whispers something in Korak's ear. He kind of stands up, brushes his armor off, picks up Dawnblade, slots it into a back scabbard that he kind of has to awkwardly sling it around onto. Looks like it's easier to get out than it is to get in. And picks himself up, nods his head towards the shrine, and then steps out with Lady Aim, and he's just like, Miss Galandadel, Miss Jing, Mr. Buckland, Lady Amy has given me a brief synopsis. You found Alphadon.
He's in Valdeban, alone, and it seems like he's very on edge.
I imagine so, if he's dealing with this curse that you mentioned.
That, and also the fact that Silval from the Winterspire is pursuing him. Did you see the bracer that Juto used to wear?
I am aware of the bracer, the magic item that you carried. I noticed that you have not worn it for some time. Lady Amy said that it was demonic of some nature, that you freed yourself of it, of some such.
That it was. It is evil incarnate, and it is now with Silval.
And Silval, she was forgive me, I am not sure if I ever met her, she was the daughter of Silandris, the previous head of the Winterspire, the one that was attempting some sort of dark ritual that you stopped.
She's also a wolf as well. She had the
Bear
same
willingly
curses.
curse.
Willingly.
So likely to be able to control it then as well.
Yep. She's
And
got a lot of
she-
pent-up rage for us, intruding and stopping them from turning everybody into werewolf.
I killed her father.
I pushed off the
She-
Winterspire.
Crownrend dislikes the fact that Juto no longer has control over him. She gave it up. There's basically everything is pointing towards the fact that Silval will probably kill my father if she finds him.
The Dragonborn straightens himself up and he's just like, not if I can help it. I will set out. The gods know that I'm not doing much here. I've been speaking with Lady Amy, praying to Bahamut. It's been a long time since I offered prayers or rites or anything, but he looks around and he kind of gestures out the windows. He's just like, there's nothing left for me here. The council have ensured of that. But if there's one thing I can do, it's save a friend. And he kind of gives a snarl of his teeth. And he just turns and he's just like, I'll make my way there. I'll take a few guards, a few loyal men. We'll make our way there. If you can contact, who's the young boy that you left in charge of the Winterspire?
Nalistri.
I'm
I've
sure he
prepared
has
a
some men.
letter. I said that to him. I said where he was. I don't know when the letter will reach them, but I asked for any men that he can spare.
It will take us 5 days to reach Veldeban, but in theory, the Winterspire is closer if they take the mountain passes.
Is there any way that you know of that can get these letters delivered quicker?
I do know a man. He's a bit unreliable, but I think you've met him already. Albert should be able to help if with some sort of magic, I'm sure. I think he'd be willing to help. Yes. I will go.
A word of warning. Crownrend is powerful, and he hates who he deems as tyrants. He hates you, and he hates royalty.
My intention is not to fight anything there. My intention is to get Althadon, secure him, and bring him back here. I'm not going to go into a fight that I don't need to battle if I don't need to. As much as I may want to kick a few people around, it's better that I grab Althadon and bring him back here, where you can deal with him and Lady Amy can administer whatever care she needs to.
It's also as important to lose Crown Wren's trail, so you don't want to lead him back to Talisval.
I'll do my best.
Or the Winterspire.
I'll see what I can do, but I can't make that promise. I'm not, unfortunately, very good at that sort of thing, but I'm pretty confident I can grab Althadon.
I did say to Lily Street to watch for Sylval because she is still out there. Just in case.
I'll send some men, hopefully. If nothing else, perhaps we can try and lure her away, give off a false scent or a false track or something like that. I imagine, however, that this will be tricky. It will take me several days. It's likely Althadon will begin moving already. I may have to try and track him down myself.
You're good at that.
Seems like he's trying
It's been a while.
It seems like he might move between places very quickly. He's good at covering his tracks, as
Yes.
you know.
Well, yes, he taught me a few things about the woods, but everything I know I learned from him as well, so I imagine it will be difficult. But you mentioned, Lady Amy mentioned that you felt he was purposely trying to give some sort of way for you to find him.
Yes.
If that's the case, then it may be that I can pick up on a similar track.
I don't know if he's there because he somehow knows that we were there.
He might be tracing our steps.
Yeah.
Possibly. It could also be Veldeban is quite close to the northern mountains. He may simply be trying to find settlements as he can, find
Refuge.
shelter. But the other thing I will do is I will ensure I take a young spellcaster of some sort, perhaps a young priest from Bahamut's reign, somebody that the High Priest can spare. Find some way that I can contact you if I locate him. Some way that if he has moved, I can let you know. I know that you have important business. Cassandra has told me of that. And I'm grateful for you pursuing that rather than trying to find your father, but...
We're hoping to be quick with the Lightborn children problem.
Yes.
And then we can meet up with you.
It will be better if I think you are there to help me convince him to come back with us. He was a strong warrior before this curse, but from what I'm to understand is it's made him stronger back to his prime.
Yeah.
Althadon was a match when he was in his prime, and with this magic it will be difficult for me to take him alone, I suspect, but I will do my best.
Yes. He wouldn't want me to go after him knowing what else is at stake.
Yes, I agree. That's why I shall go in your place.
Very honourable, Korak. Thank you.
That's the least I can do. Althadon was my friend for many years before I met all of you. It's the least I can do to try and bring him back from this pit of insanity he has found himself in.
I'm sure Reynard, you could do with some experience.
Reynard is a tracker, if nothing else. I know that you had some concerns about him, but he seems to have found his feet a little more.
He is trying to amend his ways.
I may
He
take
has
him with
been
us.
he has been useful in combat on many occasions.
He's got a good eye.
And if Althadon attacks, put Reynard in the way.
I am certain you are joking, Mr. Buckland, but...
Me?
However, we'll deal with something. I will take Reynard with me if he's around. I will try and locate him. And perhaps, if nothing else, I can send him to locate you and give you an update on where Althadon and I can be found. I shall set off. I shall use whatever pull I have left to acquire you some horses for your journey. Supplies as you need them. You saw him in Veldeban.
In
This was
Veldeban
today?
Yes, just an hour or so ago.
It was in a manor house.
It was a destroyed-looking manor house, a place where we confronted some broken sky.
If you take Raymond, it is the house where they imprisoned him.
He should know it.
Good. If he's taking refuge, he might be trying to rest and recuperate. That gives us at least a day before he might try and move again.
There is a cellar in that building, and there is also an attic.
And some dead bodies.
Very well.
I've never been. Sounds lovely.
There shouldn't be anyone left there, but I don't know if the Broken Sky have left scattered spies around.
I suspect that if your father is there, then it is abandoned. If he is in control of his faculties, he likely either doesn't want an engagement, or he is trying to actively avoid enemies. Very well.
Well, time's of the essence. for us both.
He holds out a clawed hand. The letters for Nalistria shall ensure that they are delivered.
I give them to him.
Takes them in his big, gauntleted, clawed hand, stuffs them inside his belt.
There's also one for my mother there to keep her informed.
I will send a messenger to the spire as soon as I can. It will take longer for that one to reach her, but we'll do what we can. Gives you a nod, rises to his full height, turns. You guys can do insight checks.
Does he see the chinchilla on my shoulder?
He sees it, but it is a
Natural
small
one?
rodent. He kind of curiously raises an eyebrow, rock style, at it.
Natural 20 plus 7, 27.
27,
Wow.
12.
Did he shit himself in his arm?
No, the two of you, he just kind of like stands, turns around, seems to glance around and then head off. You definitely, like, he shares a look with Lady Amy. There is a look.
Son of a bitch.
And then he kind
I
of
got a natural 1.
makes her way off.
Why
Yeah.
you got no time for me?
It'll
Why-
never
why
work
you
out
gonna tell
between
me?
them. It'll never work out.
Juto's just never gonna have any happiness, is she?
Nope.
No, I don't know what Juto is expecting either.
Cork.
As he's leaving, can I just say to him, please tell my father that I will be there as soon as physically possible.
He nods. He's just like, I will.
You can inform him of the Lightborn children epidemic that we're going through right now.
I'm sure he
I-
will.
He will understand.
Saving lives and
It may be that I may not even catch up with him before the time you are finished, but I will do what I can.
good luck.
Good luck to you as well.
It's only Alora's father. No pressure.
Young Mr. Buckland, you do not know pressure until you've lived through what I've done.
I've been squeezed between things before. Quite tight pressure. So I'm sure it's similar.
Yes, very well. Very good. He just kind of grins a big, toothy, fanged grin, and then turns, gives you one last kind of nod of reassurance, and then makes his way off. Lady Amy awkwardly kind of hangs around for a minute, and then it just kind of totters off afterwards.
What? This prayer's
She
done.
just like smiles and kind of heads off in his direction.
Let's go see Cass.
Sandra.
Okay. Yeah, you find Cassandra outside, quite aggressively destroying dummies, like practice dummies, like literally hacking off like wooden arms
I
and like
approve.
kicking them over.
I approve.
Every time she kind of like quietens down, and then whenever she sees a high-ranking priest, she does even more aggressive. Like she'll like stamp on it and things like that, or like stab it through the chest, and they just kind of tut and walk the other way.
Careful, Cass. You might kill one.
Ha ha ha. Are you about to head off?
Yeah.
Good.
I just wanted to inform you of something else that's developed with my father.
Really?
He is in Veldeban currently.
Vanderbank. If only we'd stayed there a few more days, we might have run into him.
I don't know if he's trying to track us or if he's just trying to get away, but Silval from the Winterspire, who is also cursed willingly, is chasing him down, and I think she would probably kill him. Korak is aware. He's gone to find him, to track him down.
Sandra like looks at you quite hard and is like, from what the stories that old Dragonborn's told me, your father's not some pushover. I'm sure that this werewolf woman or whatever she is dangerous, but your father's cunning, and there's a lot to be said about that. Sometimes if you know you can't win a fight, you outthink the enemy, and I reckon your father's pretty good at that.
She also
not to
has
worry
a
too much.
demonic bracer who
Oh.
doesn't like me very much either.
Oh, well, you know, I'm sure it doesn't make her any smarter.
Were you trying to outthink those dummies a minute ago?
No, I was beating the shit out of them like I will to you if you don't zip it.
Would you
She
like
just,
to?
like, nods.
Would you like to see a trick, Cassandra?
What kind of trick? Is this fire related? Because I know what it's like sometimes.
It will probably cheer you up.
Is it punching Cam in the face?
Cam, sit.
Can I make like a wisdom saving throw?
Yeah, you can make a wisdom saving throw.
Or an intimidation versus
No, I'd say a wisdom saving throw.
Can I do something? Or?
10 plus 4?
Yeah, you kind of go, but then you're like, and you stop yourself. But the chinchilla on your shoulder sits and like raises its hands up.
She tried to make me sit. Didn't work.
It worked earlier.
It almost worked.
It worked.
She looks. It's like, have you taught it to do that since the battle in?
And Cam
Not
picked up on
it.
it as well.
Oh, you're talking about the chinchilla.
I was talking about the chinchilla.
I know.
You are going to go help those kids, though,
We're
right?
going as soon as possible.
Okay, good.
We had to get some supplies first.
No, that's fine. It was fine. Just, yeah. Okay. I wish I could help, Elora.
Is there anything we can do
No.
to convince the high priests?
I mean, you can try, but it's one of those frustrating things, and the reason I'm so mad is I do see where he's coming from. Like, we've got squires, we have knights, but I am the highest ranking military officer in the temple, and
Yeah, but there's like Lady Amy. She's here.
she can't fight, and you know that.
Doesn't have to, but she can rally the troops.
If the Broken Sky fought here,
What could...
I'd feel safer knowing I was around.
With Korak out of the city.
And that is the next point I was going to make, is that if he's going, I really have to stay.
As much as I would love to have Cassandra, we don't want to leave Talisfal completely open.
You've got an important job to do, and sometimes being a paladin is knowing that you can't fix the world's problems. You have to trust other people to do it sometimes. So I'm trusting you, and she points at Cam Buckland. I'm trusting you to do this for me.
I got it. And then in return,
Oh, please, I might make
How
sure he
about-
has this.
the dummies you've vented.
Yeah, I've got it out of my system.
Maybe it's time to start encouraging morale.
Well, maybe not for the priests, but for the knights, sure.
Yeah, the people that deserve it.
Yeah.
Would you like to borrow my chinchilla? Apparently he brings happiness.
I'm not really good with pets. Armor pets doesn't really mingle too well. If you want me to look after it, I can try.
Give it to Lady Amy.
She'd love it. She'd love little animal. Loves them. She's super caring. Loves everything.
She is happy already though.
Why?
I'm fine. Juice, I'm not unhappy. I'm mad, but I'm not unhappy. There's a difference.
Feel free to punch Cam.
She just chuckles. Yeah, it crosses my mind sometimes, but
It helps me when I am mad.
I need all my energy for the task ahead.
I know you do. Are you still planning on fighting people with that little butter knife of yours?
It's not a butter knife. It's a cloud knife.
Oh, I see, okay. You know, if you ever want to use anything, I'm sure I can find something a bit more
Like
appropriate. Well, like a proper sword.
A proper sword.
Yeah.
It's cumbersome. Gets in the way. I've got like 10 of these.
It's just like...
If I drop one, I've got so many more.
I suppose. But they just like...
All of those
They can't
probably
be that
add up
much.
to the same weight as the
What
sword.
about some decent armor at least? I mean,
I got rid of that.
why? Just wear something decent. You know, we could fit you out with full plate, breastplate.
What?
I mean, I see how easily it is to knock you on your ass.
I get
We
back
did
up
get
again.
knocked down 3 times yesterday.
Why am I not
Why'd you have to
surprised?
say that?
Why am I
I'm
trusting
just
you
saying,
on this?
Cam.
Because I got these two.
Well, yeah,
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 but
that's true.
it
At
would
least
give-
I
I
can
give
at
a
least
very tired kind of world weary
Yeah.
look.
What can you
Yeah.
offer me right now?
If you want, we can take you to the armory and get you a full suit of
Do we
plate.
have time?
Yes, it won't take that long.
I will have a look.
All right.
I'm not promising anything. I am a very flexible man.
I
And
will-
Any sort
What
of
does
rigid...
that? Sorry, what does that mean? Flexible in
And I
your
need-
schedule, or
No, my body
oh,
is
okay.
well oiled.
What oiled?
I'm extremely nimble from all my days performing, and any restrictive metal simply won't do.
Well, come on, let's go to the armory and see if there's something for you.
It's worth
Alright.
a look, Cam.
Fine.
I will pay for the armor if
Okay.
it defends you more than so I don't have to constantly.
It can't
help
be
you out.
magical because I got so many magical things.
It's just like, oh yeah, because every armory just carries magical, legendary suits of armor, doesn't it?
Just saying.
She takes you through to it's only a small armory. The temple is not a big military unit. It has a small loyal force of paladins and knights, but generally it's equipping like maybe 20 people at most.
Right.
But there are suits of all sorts of different armor. There is heavy stuff, things like full plate and chainmail and things like that.
Sorry,
that you
Steve,
suspect
hang
that
on.
you'd probably be very restricted were you to wear that.
I need something with like you know, if I bend over, it will compress.
Yes, but you can wear that, like, and she points to a suit of breastplate, and she's just like, look, this very, you know, there's still plenty of room to maneuver around, but it gives you a bit of, and she tangs on the metal, and it's like, look, it gives you a bit of protection.
Store owner? Store owner.
There's no store owner, this belongs to the church.
Church owner? No.
Yes,
you.
I can...
Can I try it on?
Yes, of course you can.
I don it.
Okay,
Nice.
so it is breastplate. It is a base armor of 14, and then you can increase it by 2, up to 2 of your dex bonus. So what's your dex bonus? Plus
3.
3? So you could get, so it'd be base armor of 16.
I've got 60 already. How?
You might, is that still including the
That's still
magical
the other.
armor suit,
Yeah,
which
probably.
you can't use?
So your AC should be like 14 right now. Yeah?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, if you're wearing studded leather, then it would be 15.
8 plus proficiency plus. It's just
It's
plus.
just, AC is just base. It's like set by the armor and then your
Oh,
dex
yeah,
bonus.
of course.
So if you're wearing studded leather, it's 12 plus your dex mod, which is 3, so it'd be 15.
I start doing weird maneuvers with it, like doing like
I mean,
a
yeah,
U.
like it restricts you a little bit, but the one thing you notice is that the breastplate it's not heavy, like it's so form fitting that it doesn't like make noises, so you don't have disadvantage on stealth checks.
I do like really low down, like.
And it's not
dagger
too
throws.
heavy to wear either. It's a little bit heavier than your studded leather, but it's not too much.
It's okay. I clang it.
Ping.
Pretty loud, isn't it?
Yes,
very
but generally
stealthy
you
man.
don't walk around hitting yourself with a knife if you're trying to be quiet.
What if it-
Would you like a shield?
No.
Why? Why not carry a shield?
It's embarrassing.
What do you mean it's embarrassing?
Look at it. They're just like.
Isn't it more embarrassing to get hit in the face by an axe?
That doesn't happen to me.
I would like to hit Cam in the face.
You mean you can make an attack roll, see if you hit him, I suppose. You might. No, you hit him.
12 plus 8,
Just like
20.
a flick on the nose, kind of like.
Yeah, I just like...
I'll look at the shields. I'll look at them.
Yeah. You are proficient with them, so it just gives you plus 2 to AC.
I should get a buckler.
Yeah, there's bucklers. Yeah, I'd say that you could wear like a buckler. They tend to be emblazoned with a dragon, the armor and the shields.
That's pretty cool. So it's not just a wooden.
No, this is like
Barrel lid.
it's like the buckler itself is like a small metal plate, and engraved on it is a kind of fake platinum dragon. Like it's not actual platinum like the metal.
I
It's
just want a
kind of
little
pink.
one for nimbleness.
Yeah,
you
and
know?
she's like, well, look, this is the smallest shield I have. It's normally a jousting buckler, but it should do you fine.
Fine.
Get it.
Fine. Fine.
It doesn't hamper you in any way.
Is there one that starts off as just a single sheet of metal, and then you press a button and it goes ching, ching? That would be cool.
No, you'd have to. That's like somebody would need to make that. This is for no.
Why?
We have to leave. We can't commission a proper piece.
Okay.
When you get back, though, if you really, really want to look into stuff like that, we could look into it.
There are smiths, I'm sure, and artificers who are happily make that sort of thing, but it will take time.
Hey, Juto, you suck.
So if you're wearing the breastplate, that's 16 base AC, and then the shield gives you an extra +2. And you can still throw a dagger with the one hand as well. But it does mean you've got shield in one hand, dagger in the other one. So you can't dual wield.
Cam
You've
shield
not been
sucks.
dual wielding it for a while.
I'm just watching.
You a bet with Crown Red.
Just watching.
You have no soul.
You do realise that
Korak will never love you.
this is all going to come back to bite you one day.
Lady Amy will never love you.
True.
I'll just take these.
I'm afraid the armor does not protect you from, heart damage.
Is there any helmet I can wear that will protect my brain?
There are helmets, yes. Would you like a helmet?
Because that really hurt.
Right. She rummages around and she finds you kind of like almost like an Oblivion style guard's helmet, like with the kind of like the T-shaped face. She's like, do you want the helmet?
It's a bit restrictive. Like, I can't. It's a bit blinkery, like horse. I can't see him.
Well, it's because generally in a fight you're only looking this way.
I need to see. Plus, I get helmet hair.
You've already got bandana hair.
But it's bandana hair. That's cool.
Right. At least I'm less worried about you going off to fight this now that you actually have some decent armor for a change.
Thank you, Cass.
Do you need anything for the armor?
No. It's this is I can requisition this out as need be.
I give her an explosive charge.
A stick of dynamite from back in Hallow. She's like, what's this? Some sort of tube?
It's an exchange.
What is it? What do you
Don't
do?
light it on
Don't
fire.
light it, it explodes.
What?
It explodes.
Why are you giving me something that explodes?
I don't actually know
I
why.
just feel like, I take something from the church, I give them an explosive
She like
charge.
looks and she finds like a metal box and she puts it inside and then locks it.
If the Broken Sky come a knocking
Well, yeah, I suppose so. Where did you get that?
from Hallow, they're experimenting with strange devices.
They had a lot of weird weapons there.
They're working with the Broken Sky too.
What?
Are they?
Yes.
Let's get going.
There was a letter to Dahlgren. From
Some of
Franco.
them were. Some of the bad guys in Hallow were.
They were giving them gunpowder.
Oh yeah, gun. That's what it was
So
called.
many people working with them now. I lose
I
track.
think I've heard of something
It's
about
in
that.
that tube. Be careful. Very
Well, I'm
volatile.
not. And she like puts the box under a table. So I'm not touching that thing.
There's no sparks or fire or anything near it.
Okay.
Candles. Churches are fucking notorious for candles.
There's no candles in here.
Good. Keep it here. Locked.
She like points to the locked box she's just put away.
Good. But you can use it for the Broken Sky if they,
Thanks.
last resort kind of thing.
Okay. All right. Sure. Well, thank you for investigating this for me. I hope that you can find these missing kids. I'm
That's
sure
the
that they're looking for. I don't know what's happened to them. I don't know what the Broken Sky are doing to them, but
Any final information you have? Any leads? Any new information?
A rough number?
we estimate it to be. She considers for a moment. We estimate it to be around 9 or so.
9. Okay.
9. How do we get 9 children out?
They've been taken over months, however, so
Yeah.
varying ages. Generally not younger than 8,
Oh,
but not
that's
old.
their age.
Yes.
How many of them are
No, 9 of them.
And they're all 9.
They're about
None
8.
that are younger than 8, but none older than around 14, 15 or so.
They're also trying to get him.
Well, he can look after himself.
Felania has sent that assassin to try and bring him. Franco tried to bring him in. So whatever she wants, something to do with Lightborn, for
I
sure.
don't know. I mean, I've never really manifested my powers.
He
really.
has in front of them.
Ah, yes, that might be why. He might be the reason that they first cottoned onto all of this.
Oh, let's go.
Yeah, we should go, but
Okay. Korak has secured horses for you if you need them.
Thank you. We will.
They're
Get
on
there
the
faster.
north. They're on the south gate in the stables. Just give them my name.
Right. And our aim is to head for New Light.
yes.
Checking villages on the way, but I think mostly
I think
Heading
New Light's
direct.
the place to go.
Keep in mind that the main villages on the way are Faden and Briarcrest.
You can't
let's-
go to
Briarcrest
Faden.
is-
it's White Birth. It's White Birth Faden.
You're not allowed to set foot.
And
in
Briarcrest
Faden.
is probably the
Sandra notices that. Doesn't say anything, but kind of frowns.
And
Briarcrest.
Briarcrest, we've known from the start, has been Broken
Sky.
Sky.
Let's avoid that too, so they don't see us coming. Okay. Can you lead us to the horses? Or just tell us where they are?
I
She just
literally
told us
just said
where
this
they
to you.
were.
I was
just
checking
told
out
you.
my
Your
my
armor.
reflection in the buckler. And can you tell us where the horses are?
It's okay, I know where. Let's go. It's fine.
How do you know? All right, let's go.
I'm just magic.
As we walk out,
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to
You want to.
using my cooldown. As soon as he turns his back on me.
So I guess that'd be.
I'm going to do a very elaborate bow to Cass. It's like,
Okay.
the children are safe in my hands.
And then
And
you
I
go-
turn and walk out.
Deck save.
7 plus 3, 10.
10. You stumble, but it's not enough to completely trip you. The Guandao kind of just hooks your ankle. You kind of.
Watch out for the floors. Unstable. Let's go. I march out.
Okay, you march out. You guys make your way to the southern gate. You head out, and yeah, the southern stables. You give Cassandra's name. There are 3 horses waiting for you. Good, sturdy horses with saddlebags, some supplies for the trip, and everything else. You make your way straight away. I'm assuming, unless you guys want to do anything else.
Nope.
Okay, you make your way. It takes 4 days traveling, avoiding the major cities. You follow the southern edge of the Shard Lake and make your way towards New Light. You've heard of New Light, you don't know too much about it. It's kind of only recently been populated, in air quotes, within the last sort of 10-15 years. And the population is mainly scavengers and salvagers who go into the ruins of First Light, the major mage metropolis that was once the capital of the country, and salvage magic items, materials, and then haul them out, basically. On the 4th day, so you guys have had long rests, you guys have got all your hit points and everything back, you notice on the horizon, like as the road is leading towards it, there's a couple of things. The night before you actually arrive at the town, you see you see First Light for the first time properly. It's always been sort of on the edge of the Shard Lake, and when you went to Veldaban, you could see it in the distance. But kind of approaching it from the south, you actually fully see it. Not masked by hills and things like that. It is an enormous city, 3 times, maybe 4 times as big as Talisval. The buildings, almost every single one of them is as tall as Champion's Hold. They are enormous towers, these crumbling stone, buildings that just rise up and up into the sky, and it's protected by by huge walls that just encircle the whole thing. It actually faces out onto the Shard Lake, and it has the mountains behind it, and the city glows. You can see huge chunks of full shard, this kind of dull grey crystal poking out from the walls and the buildings. But also spread out across the city, there are hundreds, thousands, perhaps tens of thousands, little lights just glowing softly, but kind of casting the whole city in a dull amber glow. And then, as you take the road leading towards New Light, you see, perhaps 2-3 miles outside of First Light is a small town, crumbling, ramshackle. There is a large half circle of a wall that covers the northern edge of the town, the side of the town that faces towards the ancient metropolis, and then a ramshackled, hastily built wooden wall that goes the rest of the other half. The buildings there are made of a mixture of what seems to be salvaged stonework, metal, wood. They've kind of been cobbled together from anything and everything they could find. There is a guard patrolling outside, but the guard themselves, much like the city, is also ramshackle. You see humans, dwarves, half-elves, halflings, half-orcs, all just kind of mixed in together, serving. There's no uniform. You tell they're guards because they're all carrying big, large tower shields and long, one-handed spears. But that's generally the only impression it gives away that they're guards. As you approach the main entrance into New Light, this kind of frontier town, a young man holds up his hand, half-elf woman beside him, and he just goes like, whoa, hold on a minute there. Just 1 second, folks. Need to check your business here at the city in New Light. Who are you here to see?
Just tourists passing through.
Tourists. Oh, right, okay. Well, welcome to the armpit of nowhere, full of scum, murderers, and thieves. Would you like to pay for the protection service?
I think we just leave immediately. Thank you, though, for warning us.
All right, no problem.
We're just really big fans of First Light.
Oh, you don't want to go in there? Oh, whoa, terrible. Full of monsters. Only trained specialists can go in there.
Awful.
Yeah.
Why did you bring us
only the
here?
Emerald Enclave, I'm afraid.
Terrible. I thought this would be a beautiful destination.
No, deadly. That's why we have to protect it. It's all...
What sort of horrible things go on in this place?
Oh, terrible things. Awful things. Oh, no. Ugh. If it wasn't for us, the whole country would be overrun with monsters.
Really?
Yeah. We accept donations, though. I mean, it's all
How
very
much?
generous. Anything you can give. All goes towards a great cause.
I'm going to give him like a silver piece or something like that.
Ah, it's very kind, and he puts it in his pocket. It's very kind. Thank you so much.
To save us from impending doom.
Yeah.
That's incredible what you do.
Thank you. Yeah.
Could you maybe lead us to a safer part of town, because we've been traveling for a long time.
Ooh, technically I am on God. Like I said, I can do that only if you buy the protection service, though.
What is this protection service?
Oh, well, it's 10 gold, I'm afraid, sir. It's 10 gold. And it does mean that I will personally lead you to the safest inn in town. The guards will, give you advisory pamphlets. We make sure that you are safe while you're visiting the town. You know, just extra level of security.
What
You haven't
makes
got a sponsorship with this tavern, do you?
What? No. The tavern is run by an independent tavern owner, sir. But the Emerald Enclave is more than happy to offer you protection services. Obviously,
Emerald
we do have to.
Enclave.
Yeah.
Have we heard of Emerald Enclave before?
No, it's new. You guys never heard of it. They are the foremost businessmen here in town. They look after all the salvage work, but they also ensure that guards like myself are well equipped and ready, trained to deal with any monsters that come out of the big city. Terrible business. Terrible business. Have you ever seen an arcane ghoul suck
what?
the magic
Of what?
out of you?
What?
An
Yes.
arcane ghoul.
I was attacked by a mind flayer.
I don't know what that is. It's not an arcane ghoul though.
She's a big dreamer. She has nightmares
I
and
don't know.
stuff.
Some sort of made-up monster.
You say the salvage work happens here, though. Salvage.
Oh yes,
Salvage
that's
from
well. That's
First
very
Light?
much
Yeah.
That's very much what. There's a few independent contractors in the city, but most of the work is done by the Emerald Enclave. You don't want to trust any of those independent salvagers. That's what I'm saying. You know, they can't be trusted. They don't have any guidelines. No, none of that.
Is there a lot of First Light gift shops and things like that, like scavenged goods from First Light?
I mean, it's not a gift shop, but there's loads of people selling salvage. If you'd like to buy some sort of magical trinket.
Very
pretty
interested
pricey,
in
pretty
magical
pricey.
trinkets.
With this 10 gold payment, do we just get you, or do we get a whole squadron of
Oh well,
Emerald?
it will be me and my colleague here, and he gestures to the half elf one. We'll see you to a good tavern, and then we'll have a guard take over for us. Here
What
I go.
makes you qualified to protect us?
He gestures. He's like, well, I've been serving on this guard for 5 years now, ma'am.
Can I insight check him?
I have.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can. Yeah. I've
Natural
been
one.
serving 5 years. I've defended against many arcane ghouls and other monsters, killed thieves, murderers, beggars.
22.
22.
I got one.
14.
You're like, we better pay this guy. Like, oh man, this guy knows what he's talking about. The two of you, this is clearly a shakedown. Like, this guy is just fleecing anybody who comes up and is
Do we
willing to
sense that
give him
he's
money.
dangerous at all to
He's a
us?
scammer.
He's just a scammer.
He's a con
He's
artist.
just
It's
in
like
it
he's
for
clearly a guard, but he is trying to see what he can get out of you.
Maybe we should pay him double to.
I
make
wish
sure
to
that-
put your skills to the test.
Ooh, what do you mean?
If we are to pay 10 gold for your protective services, I wish to test your skills.
Well, that's not really how it works, I'm afraid. I mean, I don't know what you mean. Some sort of...
A fight.
Well, now you see, it's a bit of a dangerous business. Afraid that the local authorities would not appreciate that.
Who's the
thought
local
you're-
authorities?
You're
there,
the
you said?
local authority.
Yeah, exactly. And also the Emerald Enclave, and also anybody in the town who has a sword.
They really like you that much.
We look after our own here.
Don't fight them, Juto. He's an Emerald Enclave. He
I
protects us from
simply wish
monsters.
to test his skills as a warrior.
Yeah, maybe just a nice little fight.
No.
I think we can probably find our own way, though. Just have a
Oh,
little look.
yeah, you can, if you want to. Don't come
I
running
see
to
what
me
it
if
is.
an arcane ghoul sucks all the magic out of you, like out your bones. That's all I'm saying.
What if an arcane ghoul does that? He knows how
Sucks
to
it
do
right out. Goes through your eyes.
That's the worst
I'll
part.
protect you.
I think back to the stone elemental smashing like a snake man. Yeah, I think we'll be fine actually. Yeah.
All right. Well, if you say so. In you go.
Just here?
Is
Thank
there
you.
Is there like one gate in?
Yeah, there's
And then it's
basically
big, just like a
so
wooden
imagine
fence.
like you've kind of got like a very ramshackle, almost like a shanty town. One half of the city has got a big stone, quite defensive-looking wall, and that faces towards the city. You are on the other half where it's like a ramshackle wooden gate.
Okay.
He just gestures in.
Can I look around and see if there other guards on patrol that you said? Can I
Yeah,
see
they're
if
kind of walking around sort of like the perimeter and keeping an eye on things. You can see up on the stone wall there is actually guards placed with crossbows and things like that as well.
Can I see if any of them have taken particular interest in
Yeah,
us?
perception.
No.
Natural one.
I see nothing.
Yeah, they all just seem to be going about their own guards' business.
I'm going to be super aware now that I'm entering criminal land, and I'm just going to keep my possessions close, like hands in my pockets.
So you guys step through. You've got a really high passive perception, haven't you? Like 18 or something, or 20?
Yeah, I think it's 18.
As you get like just what you suspect the guards think is out of earshot, the woman just says, "I told you they wouldn't buy for it," and he's like, "Yeah, shut up." And he hands her like a handful of coins.
Sweet.
And yeah, you guys enter the town. The city of First Light, the town of First Light, I should say. There's a little map for you. It's kind of very ramshackle.
Nice.
There's a number of buildings, but they're all again made from like resalvaged stonework. And in the center of the town is a bazaar of tents, brightly colored tents. You can see that there are 2 which are very obviously green. There's a number which have been painted red, and then a few which have been painted blue. And they kind of form a semicircle around a central well. And then there are just tons of buildings all around the place. On the what you would consider to be your eastern side of the town.
Here.
You guys came in there. This building here you can see is a large tavern. Like you can hear the sounds of drinking and fighting coming from that. And you can see that. And then the rest of the buildings all seem to be either like residences or kind of, you know, services like a tanner and a smithery and things like that. Like very basic services here.
Well, I guess we have the tavern. Is it busy in the center?
Yeah, the center is packed. Like, so you guys have arrived quite late at night, like maybe like 8 p.m. That center, there is torches, there's lights, and it's full of people. And the thing is as you get into the city, you begin to notice that it's not like there are like flame torches. The lights here are coming from weird, kind of almost glass and metal canisters that are being hung up by ropes, and they just shed light. There's no flicker of a flame, they just emit light.
Similar to what the torch that we...
Very similar to the torch that you found and things like that. There's also, you can see that there are things like, as you kind of near the center, you can see that there are kind of like just scraps of metal that are like discarded around the place and things like that. Like some of them have got weird kind of faded looking runic patterns on them and things like that as well.
That's a wooden wall.
And then the
And then
thicker is the
that's-
thick stone wall, yeah.
And that one's facing
No,
First Light.
that was
The
facing
the
First Light.
stone wall is
stone.
facing towards First
Right,
Light,
right,
yeah.
right.
The mage city.
I don't want to go in the middle because this is rife pickpocket territory.
Do we see any children anywhere in the city with people?
You see, give me a perception check.
10.
When I was a Cass,
15.
no, let me do that first.
So 15. Yeah, there's a few urchins, like dirty looking kids running around, like, you know, kind of, again, sort of very poor looking families, kind of yelling at them and like hitting them with like little sticks and getting them inside or like calling them in for dinner and things like that. Not a lot of kids though, like it's very clearly mainly adults here. When you were with Cass.
When I was with Cass, did I feel any sort of connection with her from a Lightborn perspective?
I think you've kind of had like a weird, there's something familiar about her. Like from the first time you met her, there was always like something where it was like, there's something about her that you kind of felt a connection
Where I had
with.
to be close and...
Yeah, and you kind of had to get to know her a little bit as well. Like you
Right.
can't like, you don't have Lightborn sense where you
It's
can
not
be like,
like,
"Meh," no.
Okay.
But you do know that like you and Cass resonate with magic. Like if you were to use something which can detect magic, if somebody has innate magic, you'd probably pick up on it. Because it's positive energy and planar magic. It's different to like if somebody's a wizard or, you know, somebody's an elf. Like you resonate your own special type of magic.
Heroes, huddle up. Group talk.
Where are you? Are you just like doing this next to a building?
Just past the
Should
light.
we go somewhere quiet?
I think
out
we
of
need
the way?
information.
We do, but we also need to continue to not be noticed. If Broken Sky are here, then we're pretty distinct.
Maybe we could mob a few locals and take their clothing.
No, I think
No?
just being somewhere.
But we need to overhear things, so maybe we skirt around
Maybe
the back of the tavern and maybe hear through the window or something. If anyone's
Potentially.
talking about it.
Are the stalls still people? Do they still have people?
Absolutely packed.
This whole area is still packed even at
super
night.
busy. Doesn't look
Okay.
like it shows any sign of slowing down either. And it's not just like the stalls seem to be a mixture of. There are people doing like meats, like they're cooking food out. Like it's almost like a street market, right? There are people with blankets, and then they've just got covered in weird metal-looking trinkets, swords, vials of glittering powder, like just stuff everywhere. And they're all aggressively hawking it. Like they'll yell at people that walk past, like, "Hey, come on, look at my," like, blah, 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 and shouting all of this kind of stuff all the time.
I'm gonna
It's very boisterous and busy.
I'm gonna soak in the look of one of the locals, just in case I have to disguise self. I'm taking in all the details of what
Yeah, you
that
pick
person-
out like a kind of like a scrubby-looking sort of like merchant man.
and what they talk like and stuff.
Yeah, like they talk very similar to like how anybody in Talis Val talks, but it's very rough. It's just kind of like it's got a real sort of Mos Eisley feel to it.
Right. Okay, so
I'm going to do the usual tying the hair away. Kind of.
Yeah.
I am not-
It's a bit harder to do because it is so much longer now, but you kind of wrap it around,
Yep.
braid it up a bit.
Pulse Juto, what were you saying?
I just take out the dust flute. Ring. Invisible.
You just turn invisible straight away.
Oh, well, that makes
That lasts
sense.
1 hour.
Just kind of tug on us as to where you're going and where you are.
I'm just going to shove him in the small of his back.
Behind me already. So stealthy.
Okay.
All right. If you go up to the tavern and see if you can overhear any conversations.
Should we pass through the center or skirt?
I think.
I imagine wherever we go, there's people. You say it's really busy.
Pretty busy.
Yeah.
The
So
whole town is busy.
when we're walking along, can I keep an ear out to see if we can hear any like whispers from people or
Sure.
just
So you guys
general
making a pass
goings
through the
on?
centre. So as you kind of make your way through the centre, you notice that there's the red tents. You kind of pick up on this pretty quickly because it's kind of obvious. The red tents that are painted red seem to be independent salvages. You know, people that have got a few trinkets. If you want to browse the goods, you probably want to get a bit closer and actually physically go around looking for things. The blue tents seem to be things like utilities, like food or supplies, things like that. The 2 green tents actually have they're very well maintained, they're very well organized, they have tables with their goods on display, and they actually have signs, Emerald Enclave, and they actually have it, and they have guards. Like the other tents are just like a bloke or a woman, and you can see that they've probably got an axe or a hammer or a sword by their side ready in case anybody tries to rob them. The Emerald Enclave tents have guards, and they are watching anybody that comes in, but it's all very sort of like, yeah, please come in, have a look. They're not as rough and as boisterous. The other things you notice that strike you immediately, you notice a woman walking around quite well dressed, almost like a noblewoman's outfit, but you can see that she has all sorts of vials and weird looking trinkets kind of on lanyards or on little leather boot loops. She's got a dagger and a hand crossbow kind of tucked into a holster at her back. And the reason you notice her is because walking along beside her is an enormous metal man, literally wearing sort of almost like a vest and shirt, but is a metal man with big metal fists, who has his arms crossed and just walks with this woman wherever she goes. Very sort of doesn't speak, but she's babbling away to it. You overhear her saying "Oh, Hank, let's go look at this one." And she walks over to one of the tents and starts perusing through all the materials. But nobody else is really batting an eyelid at this woman and this automaton that's walking with her.
What is that?
The other thing you notice is there is, over at the smaller green tent, a small bird man, literally black feathers but no wings, but a bird face with a beak, feathered kind of body, but normal sort of clawed hands, is arguing with a shopkeep. But the little birdman's voice keeps changing. It's 1 minute it's just "Now listen here, you bastard. I'll have a good price. If you don't mind, please." And it switches between all these different characters. And the man just sort of laughs and is and then he's just and he's trying to get rid of him. He's fuck off, birdman. And the little birdman's just "You'll regret speaking to me like that, you lily-livered butt whistle." And then it's just "I want this one, please." And it points down at something.
There's so many weird people here.
try not to look at them directly in the eye.
Right.
And like I said, if you want to look at any of the actual things that they have, you need to actually go and browse those properly.
Juto,
Can I
are you around me?
break off and go to the inn?
Yeah?
Juto?
Distinct lack of reply.
The inn, as you get closer to it, the first thing you notice is the sign outside is of a really happy-looking bee.
Aww.
It's just a really happy-looking bee.
Wow.
And it's called the Happy Bee.
Wow.
What a place.
It's got like a really derpy smiley face bee, but the sign looks like it's been nicked from somewhere and stuck onto this tavern. And as you kind of approach, the door swings open, and two massive, muscular, kind of look like a bit like the Grant twins from EastEnders, half-orcs, throw a drunk out. And they're just like, don't fucking come back until you've sobered up, Jim. And he's like, and he like crawls off. And then the Mitchell orcs head back. And it's a very loud, boisterous place with a lot of a heavy stench of stale beer and sort of sweat.
Can I like nip in?
You can easily do that. Like you're waiting for somebody to come out and then you slide in.
And then can I just listen to conversations, like kind of flit around, see if there's anything, any mention of children or broken sky or anything weird.
Does anybody say any plot?
Yeah. Could somebody like just reveal the plot for
if
me?
only.
Like.
Okay, so you're doing that. What did you two want to do?
I'm trying to find Juto.
No, it's fine. Just shh.
I want to go and speak to the metal man.
I mean, it doesn't look like he speaks, but if you want, I don't know.
Yeah.
We should look at stalls. Trying to
You do
mingle.
that.
Okay, where's the metal man? Is he at stall?
Yeah, they're going around the stalls. They're looking at all these trinkets.
Can we
the
look
stall
at the
where
same
they're
stall that they're at?
Yeah, sure. And then you want to go up to it
I'm
as
just
well.
going to walk up next to him and be like,
Okay. Katie, why don't you roll some percentile dice for me, please?
Beh. I don't have
The metal man tells you to bite its shiny metal ass.
Where's
you
another? Do
stay,
you have
I
a
go.
Superman!
regular?
Yeah, don't
Rip.
fucking love that movie. Vin Diesel.
87.
87, wow, okay.
Hot diggity.
Yeah. So, the stall that you're looking at, as you approach the woman and her metal man, she is very excited. She's just like, Hank, look! And she like leans down and she's just like, yes, it's definitely magical. Oh, I don't think he knows. And she's like whispering to this man, and the store owner is like looking at other things. There's a number of things actually. I'm gonna roll a D10, a couple of D10s.
I'm just staring
Okay.
at bewilderment.
So there's a couple of things which strike you. Most of it's things like you see like beautiful wood, sort of like a couple of like it almost looks like furniture is like being sold. There's a few sort of like tools or like almost like work, craftsman's tools. There's four things which take your eye. The first one, which has been sat on a table and has been hooked up to some sort of like very small glowing shard, is it's very similar to the Metal Man, but it's a different shaped head. It's a larger head, and it's like not quite a human face. It's got one singular eye, and it has like a tiny little hole for its mouth, and it's talking, but it's like speaking garbled nonsense. It's just like, the prime root of the arcane equation is equal to 7 times the mathematical... It's just like babbling. And it's just a head, and it's just like... Blah, blah, blah. But the eye flashes colours when it speaks. And it's just like blah, 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 blah. The other things that you see is you find a number of gyroscopes and axles and wheels that are turning by themselves. Again, hooked up to one of these tiny crystals, and they're just turning by themselves. There's a couple of the metal and glass lanterns that just emanate light, that just... There's no flame, they just seem to magically give off light. And then the other thing you see is there is a set kind of hung up on a mannequin of... They look like wizard's robes, but they're kind of almost like a valedictorian, almost like a professor's robe, with like a kind of black long shawl, long sleeves, that sort of thing. And this woman is just like, look at this! This is an intact sentinel head. Hank, we could put this on you? No, it's too big. And she, oh yeah, no, I should. But the secrets of this thing going on.
I'm trying to look inside Hank, like through like elbow joints.
He looks hollow. It looks like he's made of things. It looks like he has like almost like wooden and stone and metal like body. Like anything which needs to move quite well. There are like metal kind of like hinges and cogs, but he also has like wood kind of protecting them. He has like big stone armor platings and metal for defense as well. And his fists look like 2 enormous punching fists.
Doom fist.
Yeah, they're very Doom Fist-esque.
I'm not being too quiet, but I'm basically saying to Alora, who's probably looking at the stall, it's like, she must be doing some sort of continuous animated armor spell or something like that.
As you say that, she like her head whips around and she smiles and she's like, no, that's it. So many people think I am, but no. And she like gestures to it and she's like, Hank is its own. Look, I'm not doing anything.
What?
I know, it's incredible, isn't it? It's my life's work.
Your life's work?
Really?
Yes.
And did you get these parts here?
No. Well, I developed some of the research from it. Some of their particular work with electrum shards and using magic as an energy source. I've used a little bit of that, but no. He's a mixture of clockwork, a little bit of magical engineering, a bit of enchanting. He is Hank. He is my loyal friend. Melody Jones, by the way, lovely to meet you, artificer. And she like shakes your hand, shakes yours.
Do I shake his hand?
Hank, where are your manners? And he like turns around and he like it doesn't crush it, but it's a tight grip.
Pleased to meet you, Hank. Wow, I'm super impressed.
Oh, thank you so much. A lot of the people here aren't too impressed because obviously there are many of these kind of creations in the city. They've seen all sorts of things, but it's lovely to meet.
What kind of foreigners?
Oh right, well yes, I come here to browse for the goods and things like that. So this is your first time in New Light. Oh, it's marvelous, isn't it? It's a bit rough around the edges, but there's so many wonderful things. Just look at this, and she points at the store, and she's just like, look at these axles and gyros. Now they used to use these in the city to have horseless carriages. What? You would just get in them, and you could tell them where to go, and they would take you there.
But without horses, how would they move?
Magic. They used magic as an energy source.
Maybe they cast invisibility on the horses and it's a scam.
No. They have this. There's all sorts of technology like this in the city. That's why they salvage it all.
You would attach one of these to a carriage and it would be
It would
able
just
to...
run. Yes. Now, they had other systems in there. They actually have it tied to ley lines that run all throughout the city. And so you would give it a destination. It would have a small console. You would say, I want to go to this place, and it would take you there. Isn't it marvellous? I mean, wonder if we had that in a city here in the Dawn Republic.
The camera's really struggling to soak what she's saying in.
So dumb.
And were you looking at this head as a replacement?
No,
perhaps?
I wouldn't dare replace Hank's head. No,
Oh,
she
of
like
course not.
pats Hank on the chest. She's just like, no, but it's very rare to see. I mean, now these sentinels, they patrol the big city and they are dangerous. Sometimes they're fine, they still act on security protocols that they were once given to defend the city. Sometimes you encounter one that's been, and she taps her head, and you can see she's kind of got like this kind of crazy messed up auburn hair, goggles kind of put up on her head, and she's just like, they've lost their minds a little bit, like this one, and they'll attack anything they see. I mean, it's not surprising, there are so many dangers in the city, they probably get attacked all the time, especially by the ghouls. Oh, don't even get me started.
We have heard about the ghouls.
Oh, they're terrible. They drain magic, and so obviously these sentinels, which are powered by it, are prime targets. So they're used to just defending themselves against anything they come across.
But no one bats an eyelid at Hank, even though he looks like one of them.
He looks very different. I think that, because he's with me and he seems to be behaving himself, as to most people's eyes, they don't seem to have a problem with it. I also have I've made assurances to Reshan of the Emerald Enclave that he won't cause any trouble. And I think that seems to carry quite a weight in this city.
Oh, you remember?
No. I'm not a salvager. I'm a researcher. So I have an agreement with the Emerald Enclave that as long as I don't sell anything I find, and as long as I make sure that they get, first pick, I'm allowed to go about my business.
So do you go into the city?
Well, not very regularly. I've done it a couple of times, but it's quite dangerous, I've gone in with a couple of the Emerald Enclaves, an exchange of services, so to speak. I explain how something might work or help them bypass a security system, and in return they let me examine the things that they find.
Do they brand you when you become a member? I've just noticed some of these orders and some of these people on the outskirts. They like tattoos and stuff like that.
I think they might have a uniform. I don't know anything about a brand. I've never seen one.
Right. Okay. This is very fascinating, and I feel like we could talk to you all night, couldn't we?
Yeah,
about Hank.
I could talk about Hank all night as well.
but we're actually here on important business.
Oh, well, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to. I overheard you, and I wanted to explain it.
Thanks for the introduction to Hank.
No,
it's incredible.
Well, I mean, I'm staying at the tavern at the Happy Bee. If you ever wanted to learn anything more about First Light, I'd be more than happy to share my expertise.
To be honest,
it's interesting. It's wonderful to meet people that actually care about it. The salvagers only really care about how much something's worth.
I would feel safer with Hank around. And you, of course.
I feel safer with Hank around. That's why he's here. Ding, ding.
Does Hank defend you if you were of?
If I was
not needing to, but
yes, well, I'm very confident that Hank would make sure I was quite safe. I mean, I know a few spells here and there just to give him a little boost if I need to. And I know how to look after myself. I've travelled around for a while.
I just thought about being a member of the Emerald Enclave as a researcher and things like that. Insight of 15.
15. Yeah, you
Seems genuine.
seemed like you didn't detect any lie. You didn't think that she's deceiving you in any way.
Okay.
Juto, you are listening in at the tavern, yes? The
I don't
first.
know if you want to go to break first. It's like,
Oh, is it time?
yeah.
Is it time?
Good timing.
That's good timing. So we're going to take a break there, folks, as the party are exploring the small ramshackle village of New Light, and we will return in just 5 minutes. We'll be back.
Bye.
Hello, and welcome back to High Rollers. I was just jamming away to this little tune and forgot that Steve was doing accounting.
And admiring this excellent mug, available on store.yogscast.com.
Wow.
Wow, you are shameless.
Look, I need the money. I'm not earning.
Buy my mug. Welcome back to High Rollers. You join us as the party are investigating the kind of ramshackle village of New Light, which is beside the great mage metropolis of First Light, which was destroyed during the Lightfall, a big significant event in this campaign. Juto.
Our overlay isn't overlaid.
Oh yeah.
It's got like a...
Is that our overlay there, Norman? Steve?
Yeah.
Usually.
Is it just our version? There we go.
That's who we are.
The magic of production. Good, well spotted, Kim. You are Juto. Is currently in the tavern, invisible, listening in on.
Just like pressing myself on the walls.
Listening to conversations. The Happy Bee is a rowdy, violent tavern. It is not awful. Like the furniture has all been like stolen from or salvaged. So it's like you get like a really plush-looking sofa chair, like velvet seats, next to like a really ugly kind of like table with demon faces carved on it and stuff like
Why is
that.
that ugly?
Just like no, as in like it's like just
Crudely done.
Crudely done. It's not the demon faces are ugly.
Just
Shut up. So it's all kind of very much in keeping with the rest of town. It's all very ramshackle and just cobbled together. Listening in, you overhear a couple of things. The first thing is you pick up that the tavern is run by an orc, not a half orc, a full orc, by the name of Morlach. He's grizzled. He's got one eye, but his arms definitely show that he still keeps himself in good physical shape. There is a large double-headed axe above the bar, and it just has a plaque on it, under it which just says, "For customer service." And he greets everybody quite warmly, but there is definitely, you get the sense that nobody messes with this guy. Like, he is very well respected. The two Mitchell brother-looking orcs you saw appear to be his sons, and help him run the inn, basically. What you overhear while you're there is you hear something about a man called Rashad, basically saying, you overhear something along the lines of like, oh yeah, I've heard Rashad's looking for somebody to deal with that annoying bird. Maybe we should take him off on it, there might be some good coin in it. Oh, you don't want to mess with that little guy. He doesn't seem like much, but he's vicious. It's not worth getting involved in that. Let Rashad find somebody else to do it. You also hear that there is supposed to be a big salvage operation going down in a few days. Apparently somebody's uncovered something in a shopping plaza in Bigby's third quarter. And it's rumoured to be full of good stuff.
Bigby's third quarter.
And that's kind of what you pick up.
Does anybody say that the children are in the old well?
No. You do not hear go to quest point to find missing kids. You don't hear
Damn it, Mark.
I know, I'm sorry. Yeah. Would you like to do anything else while you're in this tavern?
That's pretty much it, right? Yeah.
You gather that over a course of time as well, like
there-
maybe like an hour or so.
And upstairs?
There is an upstairs. There is one of the Mitchell orcs is kind of sat beside the stairs and doesn't seem to be letting anybody who wants to go up there. It looks like it's either private or for the orcs, you don't know.
For orcs.
Can I sneak up there?
You are invisible, yeah.
I would like to sneak
Okay,
up.
give me a stealth check just to see how quietly you are moving. Uh-oh.
7.
Okay. Yeah, you seem to go past it. You wait for there sort of like a big cheer from like a bunch of drunken idiots, and then you just scoot your way upstairs. Mitchell Orc doesn't seem to hear you. Going upstairs, you just wind yourself around just a double set of stairs, and it goes into a long corridor with a number of rooms, like again, sort of like mismatched doors, wood paneling that doesn't quite meet up, with each other, and the doors all seem to lead out into smaller rooms.
Okay. Can I just have a look in the room?
Locked.
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 This door is locked. Is there like any more stairs up, or like is this just this floor?
It did look like there was a back room, some sort of kitchens or something like that behind Morlach's bar, but that was about it.
Can I break into a room?
How do you want to do that?
Quietly?
You're going to try and pick the lock?
Yeah.
Quietly with extreme ease,
Yeah,
please.
you can do. You're going to be at a disadvantage
Yeah.
dexterity check. You don't have any tools, so it's also going to be quite difficult.
Natural 20.
It's
Sorry,
disadvantage.
disadvantage. 13 dex check. 14, 15, 16, 17.
17. Without tools, you feel like you've got the trick of the lock, but you just don't have the right tools to unlock it. Like, you're close, but not quite close enough. Maybe if you could find some sort of like long, thin wire or something that you can just use to hook the inner tumbler.
Can I kick it?
You just want to kick it
When
down?
there's a noise.
You can try and kick it down. It's going to be a strength check. It's raw force. Let's try and break down the door.
Nah, I'm gonna go back downstairs.
Okay.
And
Sneak your way back down.
go outside into a back alley because probably by now my invisibility is gonna.
Yeah, it's going to be wearing thin. Like, it's been about just coming up to an hour. So yeah, you basically duck out and then the invisibility wears off. You two, Cam and Elora. At this point, you were outside browsing the market stalls.
I'll tell you what. What was the name?
Malady.
Melanie.
Malady Jones.
Mally. Why don't we just meet you at the tavern later and just keep talking about
Okay.
Hank and stuff?
Sure. Yeah, that sounds great. I'm gonna finish. I want to check out some of the salvage. I will give you one word of warning though. Alcazar, he runs like a small independent place near the wooden wall. Quite the voracious little fellow. Don't touch his things. Don't put anything out of order, and try not to treat him like an idiot. He gets very upset.
We might just not go in there.
I mean, yeah, that's one way to do it. He does know his stuff. He gets a lot of good stuff from the city, but
So he's separate too. Does he not want to be in the center?
no, he doesn't really get on with anybody else. Like I said,
Okay.
he's very fussy about the way things are laid out, and he gets very upset if people touch things. So he's pitched his own little kind of shop, I guess you could call it that, out near the wooden wall.
And is his shop, is it good? Is there
The
good
things, I mean,
salvage there?
she whispers in, I have heard that he knows a way into the city that isn't controlled by the Enclave. So he actually gets in and out, but like I said, he doesn't really get on with everybody. He's a bit of a difficult character.
And what was his name you said?
His name's Alcazar.
Alcazar.
I don't think, he's... I'll put it this way. Did you... you might have seen him earlier, I suppose. He's a small little bird fellow. And he doesn't really talk. He repeats back things he's heard.
Interesting.
But he can converse. It's difficult to explain, really.
What?
He's not capable of making up his own words. He has to use things he's heard other people say to communicate.
Is that why he talks with different
Yes,
voices?
he can. His mimicry is incredible. He can perfectly replicate any sounds he hears.
I see.
But he's not capable of creative speech.
Fascinating.
Yes,
maybe we should
voracious
see
little
him.
bugger though. Do be careful. He's given Hank a bit of a roughing up before, scratched him to pieces, almost tore one of his arms off. Nasty little bugger. But his salvage is the best in town.
If he has
I hate to
direct
say.
access.
Okay.
Of course, the other option, if you're looking to go into the city, is the Emerald Enclave are always looking for people to do deals with, like they have with me. You don't have to join them, they're more than willing to do some sort of arrangement. And they do control the main entrance, and they have the greatest number of guards. They have mapped the city quite well. They actually have working maps of it and things like that as well. So.
They've always treated you with respect.
Oh, yes.
Paid you well.
Rashad has worked with me for... I've been here for several months now, and
You've worked with Rashad.
Yes, well, he was the one I
Who's
originally... He's, I would say, the leader, not quite owner of the Emerald Enclaves, but he's kind of in charge.
Right.
And he's the one that, if you want to make a deal with, he'll want to speak with you directly. He's who I made my arrangements with.
I think the Birdman was arguing with him earlier about something.
Rashad isn't out here in the bazaar, and she points to a building just behind the tents. He'll be in the headquarters. It was likely one of Rashad's men who does a lot of the selling work out here.
Fair enough.
Yes, I'm afraid Alcazar and the Enclave do not get on.
I tell you what,
Yes.
you go reserve a nice quiet seat in the tavern.
Oh, there's no such thing at the Happy Bee. But yes, I'll see if I can get a table.
Really?
Oh, it's quite boisterous, yes. I think it's thoroughly charming.
Okay, well maybe corner off a section with Hank.
Well, that's one thing. He's very good at that. And the Half-Orc brothers do quite like him.
See, Alora doesn't like crowded, congested areas, and when, we need some space to breathe.
Oh, yes, no, absolutely, of course, yes.
Yeah. Great, thank you. And also there'll be another joining us. She's a tiefling. See you later.
Oh, marvellous. Oh,
Yeah.
I've always wanted, and she kind of wanders off with Hank, like, oh, yeah, and just chatting away.
Okay. Judo. Damn, where's she gone?
She's probably still she's still invisible, right? How long's it been? Not that
I don't know
long.
how long her loot lasts for.
Well,
Look at that, she's going to trip me up again.
I think we should go and see that fellow, the bird man.
Should we see if he's still at the stall, arguing?
Do we see him still at the stall where
He's
he
not at the
was?
store. No.
He might have gone back
So he
to
might
his
have gone
little
back to his own.
shack. Do we need Juto for this? Juto?
She did say that he...
Looking on the roofs now.
Where does Juta go once your invisibility wears off? Wow. You just had a whole biscuit in your mouth. That's disgusting.
I thought you were going to do more RP with that and I was going to eat it. I'm a hungry girl.
What is Juto doing at this point?
I didn't chew it, I just put it in my mouth.
That's the weird bit, like a bird.
It looks pretty smooshed, I'm not gonna lie.
It's alright.
Stop looking
Okay.
at your biscuit. What is Juto doing?
Thinking about going back into the inn.
Okay. Just on your own, and you just want to go in there and hang out.
Yeah,
Okay.
be
Okay.
boisterous.
All right. Put your biscuit. You can eat your biscuit now. Right. The two of you want to track down Alcazar.
Alcazar.
Yes.
It's not hard. Given the directions of it being near the wall, there is actually only one tent which is separate from everything else. That is indeed it. There is only one tent, and you can see kind of moving around inside is this kind of like, he's wearing like a loose tunic with a hood which is up, and he's kind of got his like little clawed hands and little bird feet, and he's kind of shuffling around. the tent is quite large, but the tent itself is ramshackle. Patched holes like sewn up, struts that have been like made from old fishing rods and tent poles strapped together and things like that. Like it's all ramshackle. The salvage inside is perfectly arranged in neat rows on shelvings. The shelf is cobbled together from garbage, like crates and boxes, but the actual things are precisely placed on these shelves. And he's going around and he's actually just swapping the two, like he'll move one, look at it, then he moves it back, he steps back, looks at it, adjusts it, steps back, seems happy, moves on to the next one, does the same thing, and he's going through this very rigorous process.
Allura, just follow my lead.
Okay, don't touch anything. Do not.
I'm not going
touch.
to. We're going to play up a little bit. I heard Alcazar is like the best. I'm speaking up a little bit.
Okay, so your volume's increasing.
The best salvager, like, ever. I've heard that he's got the best things from First Light.
You just hear a squawk, like a bah! And then he kind of like looks up, turns around.
Allura, I think that's him.
He looks down, he looks at you, but then he's like looking back at his things, and he's like,
The famous Alcazar. Look how
We should
incredibly...
go and speak to him.
I'll be with you in a moment, you crest-pipering whisk-bags. I'll be there in a second.
Thank you, good sir.
He speaks.
I reckon it's too early for any of that now.
Hello.
And then it kind of hops over. It kind of like a little crow. It kind of like he hops and he kind of looks up at you. He's small. He comes up to maybe even Allura's like, well, actually you're quite tall now. He comes up maybe to like your waist sort of like, or just below your kind of chest bone height. This long sort of raven-like beak, these kind of bird-like eyes. He looks up at you.
Truly an honor to meet Alcazar in the flesh.
Truly an honor to meet you, piss bag. And then he puts out a little claw
Stifling
hand.
a laugh. I shake it, the feathers.
He shakes it really awkwardly, and then he kind of whips his hand back. Now, how can I help you today, my dear lovelies? And he hops backwards, and then he gestures to his store.
Merely being in your presence and amongst your salvage is enough. We merely want to look at what you have.
Give me a persuasion check.
Okay.
He like just turns his head in that birdie way, sort of like looking at Cam.
19.
19. Oh, you can stop with all the flattery, you piss bag.
I like this bird.
Well, we were actually, recommended to go see you from Malady. Have you heard of her?
Malady. He says it in Cam's, a pitch exam perfect version of Cam's voice. Malady. I know her. Aye, quite the looker she be.
And Hank. Quite fascinating.
Oh, what a terrible brute! That big old bastard!
Yes, he seems quite, strange.
You here to buy anything or just jibber jabber?
We're actually here for information.
And it kind of like, you can see his little shoulders slump. He turns around, goes to his shelves, and starts adjusting them, things again. And then you hear just a, bah! Barely aching! And then that's all he says.
Information on how to get the best salvage of First Light.
He just turns back and he's just like, why, it's here!
Ah, of course.
Can you show us some of your recent salvage? Any particular pieces you would recommend?
Like, turns his head, looks at you, hops over to you. And he starts looking at your belt. And he looks at some of the other things. Oh, what a lovely thing you're wearing, dear. Ah, 'tis worth a few doubloons, I imagine. And then he just hops back and he like gestures like this. And then he takes you over. He shows you to. He takes you over. He like leads Allura specifically. He like leads you over, and he in Allura's voice. What is it? You said something like your recent finds or something like
Yeah.
that. He says like recent finds in Allora's voice, and he shows you one is like a deck of cards. These kind of like they're almost printed on almost like very beautiful parchment paper that's been hardened by like a lacquer, and it's got like a design of like a griffin, and it has like some strange writing, like symbols and shapes you're not quite familiar with. And he picks it up and he puts it on the table, and a tiny illusion of a griffin kind of fighting and roaring comes into play. Then he picks up another one, and this one seems to have like the symbol of like a great flame, again with all this strange writing and text. And he plays that, and a big sort of like engulfs the griffin, and the griffin crumbles.
If only we
And he
could...
shuffles that up, and he puts that deck to one side, and that's like a deck of cards he puts to the side. Then he points to a satchel, what you thought was just a leather knapsack, but he opens it up, and inside there is 3 potion vials, 2 red, 1 kind of clear liquid, and he shows that. And then he hops over to another one of his little stands, and on that is a beautiful looking longsword, engraved with runes down the blade. The hilt is kind of almost like a pair of dragon claws kind of rising to the side, and a gemstone in the middle of the guard. And yeah, he kind of waves his hand over those, and then he points towards First Light.
All of these from
Great
First Light.
treasures, you'll never find more.
I'm sure you could, procure even more if it weren't for the Emerald Enclave always in the way of everything.
He starts squawking like a bird, and he gets very puffed up and like in that birdie way of like when he's agitated.
I know.
And he's just like,
They're
piss
all-
bags, piss bags, piss bags, piss bags. He just keeps saying piss bags.
I hate the Emerald Enclave.
He's like, he like nods his head.
I've heard they've been up to no good too. Rumor has it.
He like just nods his head.
Children.
That he kind of cocks his head at, and looks at you strange, waiting to hear.
Whispers around the busy bee, I've heard. Some have gone missing and have...
The happy bee, you mean?
Happy
the
bee.
happy bee.
That's it.
He
And surely if they've been brought here, the Emerald Enclave would know about it.
Okay, when you say that, he just, this kind of like older late female voice is just like, oh yes, dear, oh yes. Aye, they be sleazebag, pissbags, them be.
Yeah. They have this front of being guards and protecting everybody, but I know there's an underbelly there of evil.
You hear a voice you've not heard before, which just says like, he basically says, the Emerald Enclave will do anything to be the greatest salvages in this town, little bird.
Have you heard of the Broken Sky?
He like, his head slowly cocks and he takes a few steps back, and his hands start going towards the longsword blade.
Nothing bad. We are not associated. Please. We would never harm you.
He like looks at you and his hands come back.
If anything, we're the opposite.
He like
We're
cocks
here
his
to
head
stamp
again.
out such groups and cults of people.
That would make you good boys, is the voice that comes out.
And maybe with your incredible salvage, and maybe that sword.
He like he looks at you, and then he pats like a little coin belch on his, and it makes
Obviously,
a jingling
for
noise.
an equivalent exchange, that and some knowledge and information. You seem to know everything in this town of how we could get inside the Emerald Enclave. And
Oh, I know a few things, dearie.
good. Well, that's fascinating. We're both collectors of incredible artifacts and also stabbers of bad people. So
He like his little bird head nods. He looks at you, and he darts off, and he rummages around, and he comes back with something. Not that. He hands you a piece of parchment, which seems to have an elaborately drawn, coloured map, scratchy, kind of like bird-like shapes. He hands this to you.
I rummage for some
First
coin.
light, he just says, first light. No need for that. As he sees you like going for your coin,
Are you sure?
he's just like, he
So
just
this is a
holds
map
his
of
hand.
First Light.
He like nods his head.
Right. So they're rings.
He like gestures to he points at the map, and he points to the 2 rows, and he's just he like points, and he'll like point here, and then he points up, and then he goes like that.
17th Wex.
So this is how you
And,
know.
and when you say that, he nods.
This is how you know where to go, or is this is how the city is divided? The areas.
In Malady's voice, you hear, "Oh, so this is how the city worked. It's a grid system."
Yeah, the 17th Wex. It's like a block or something. So they're using... Yeah, I get it. So what's so specific about 17th Wex?
You hear just like, "Don't be stupid, pissbag!"
Emerald Enclave?
And then he just basically said no. Then the older woman's voice is just like, "No, no, 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 no." And then it just says, he wouldn't have a way of saying what he wants to say. So he gets a bit frustrated, like his feathers puff up a bit. And instead he's just like, "No, no, no. You've made an error, my dear boy," is what he says.
Right.
Is there an area on the map that is of particular interest to the Emerald Enclave?
Sadly not, is the thing he says. Then he kind of just gestures across the whole map, and then he just does that.
Any areas that you have found particularly interesting?
He nods, he's just like, "I found great treasure. All over, would you believe?"
Have you seen anything untoward? Areas that are
Whatever could you mean, my boy?
Emerald Enclave.
He ponders for a moment, and then he seems to get excited. "Bah, bah, bah," and he kind of claps, and then he points at... He points at Sir, and then he traces up, and then he points at Sir and 14th.
Sir.
Sir 14th. 14th Sir.
And then he goes, in the darker voice you heard before, "The Emerald Enclave. Up to no good, I think."
So, okay. And you have a way in, don't you?
He gets a bit defensive, and it's just like,
It was Malady, sorry.
"I don't know what you're talking about, lad."
We would never tell anybody.
And in fact, we don't even need to know.
No.
"Well, that's a secret, my boy," is what he says.
Yeah, and a secret it shall stay. We'll talk to Malady. It sounds like she's been in there before.
He nods.
Okay. And you were friends with her?
He does this.
You worked with her?
She's brought you
sa-
business?
He says, "Yes, that's right, my dear.
So you haven't seen...
A lovely customer," is what he says.
Right. I see. She researches, and I assume she can... Yeah.
He nods.
Have you seen any children within the city itself?
He nods,
Children that aren't from the town.
shakes his head.
Okay. Do you stay up late at night, or do you go to bed early?
"This place never sleeps."
But do you?
He nods.
Bad things happen at night, I reckon. You haven't seen anything strange happening at night, like Emerald Enclave
He points to, like, on the ground, like, he does this.
on the ground?
Like, quizzically?
Within the town?
Yes.
And then when you say that, he kind of thinks,
Anything moving through?
"They've been talking about some big find, I reckon."
Big find. Interesting. And that could be to do with Sir 14th.
He shakes his head
Just another find.
and nods.
Very well.
But then he squawks again, "Emerald Enclave. Definitely up to no good."
Yeah. I thought they might be tied with this missing children problem, which is why we're here. Here to find them and rescue them.
He, like, nods.
If you could keep that to yourself, very much appreciate
He,
that.
like, looks around. There's nobody around. He's just, like, nods.
So I'm sure you could say what I just said back to me in my voice.
I could say what you just said back to me in my voice.
Yeah, that's very interesting.
Very interesting.
And the other voices you have, do you just pick any, or do they mean something to you?
I pick what I need, and I use what I must.
That makes sense to me. Okay, well, we're going to go find our other friend and meet Malady and hopefully save these children.
He, like, nods. He kind of He offers a hand, shakes your hand quite vigorously, pats you on like your side, and then he just hops back like a bird and goes back to organising his shelves.
We'll be back to purchase one of your fine scavenged goods.
Oh, please come again.
Okay. Cool. Well, that was good. Let's
Thank you very much for your help and for the map.
Thank you very much in Elora's voice. Very interesting in Cam's voice.
Cool. All right. To the tavern, I guess. Hope that Juto's there. Juto?
Still not.
I don't think she's here. She's probably in the tavern.
So, Juto, you make your way inside the Happy Bee. There is a few curious glances when you enter, but actually, unlike a lot of places, nobody seems to really kind of
Care.
Yeah, like they kind of give you your personal kind of like, yeah, well, it's her business what she's doing. But there's definitely a few sort of like new person looks. The big sort of greying orc behind the bar kind of looks over, and he's like, "If you be wanting a drink, little girl, you can have one here. No policeman to worry about around here. What are you having?"
Barkeep, I would like.
He like gestures, he like thumbs towards you, and like the half-orc twins start laughing as well. Like he's like, yes, sorry, go on.
I would like one ale, please.
All right. And he's like gets like a dirty-looking mug, cleans it with like a cloth like out of a sort of like basin of water, pours one out. He's just like, now, have you got the money? It's 2 silver.
Put 2 silver on the counter.
Like puts it down. He just takes the money. He's like, oh, good for enough for me. What are you doing here on your own anyway?
Exploring and searching, looking for some lost friends.
He leans down. He's like, well, just if you come back, if you get in any trouble, come and see me. I'll make sure nobody gives you any harm. It's a bit of a rough town, so you need to be careful. All right?
Thank you.
It's my pleasure.
On that note, my friends that I am looking for, they are young children.
Right? What are we talking?
Probably about 8.
Do they come from around here, or are they strangers?
They come from the city,
From which city?
Talisval.
Oh no, don't get not had many travellers from Talisval around here, I'm afraid, love. It's a bit too far out, really. Mainly just scavengers and scum around here.
Do you get any children around here?
We've got a few from the local boys and girls, but that's about it, really. Some folks decide to up sticks from wherever small little farm that they've got and come be salvagers, but that's about it, really.
Can I insight?
Yeah.
19.
19. Yeah, he seems to be a pretty genuine, sort of friendly-looking bloke. Doesn't seem to be lying to you at all.
What about the bad sort of people?
Get plenty of those around here.
The
Oh
Emerald
God, you
Enclave?
can't throw a piss bucket for not hitting a bad man, bad guy.
And who would be in charge around here?
Well, it depends on who you're asking. A lot of people might say me, because I make sure that nothing bad happens here in the Happy Bee that I don't allow. Some people might say that Rashad, who's leading the Emerald Enclave's in charge. He's certainly got the biggest monopoly on the salvage operation. And then other people might say that nobody's in charge. It's a pretty lawless place. No governments or laws around here. Just everybody out for themselves.
Anyone from the Broken Sky?
He leans
I kind
down.
of lower my voice as I say
Yeah,
that.
he's like, now what's a girl like you knowing about a nasty group like that?
They took my friends.
Well, I'm afraid that no, there's nobody as far as I know working with scum like that around here. A few of them have come by, trying to recruit us, trying to get some of the salvage folks on board, but as far as I know, they were sent packing. Certainly I wouldn't let them in here. Don't want any dealings with scum like that. I've heard what they've done.
It seems like scum like that would work with scum like the Emerald Enclave.
He kind of he says, well, big assumption. I know a lot of good folks that work for the Emerald Enclave, people that are genuine salvagers trying to make by. I can't say the same for Rashad, but how he conducts his business isn't necessarily my business. But I know that there's a lot of good folks that work for him.
Fair enough. Where would I find this Rashad?
Over in the Emerald Blades headquarters, but unless you've got something to offer, I don't think that they're just going to let you walk in and have a chat with him. He generally only talks to people that can provide additional services. If you need to, you can stay here, but I'm afraid I can't help you find your friends.
Fair enough. Another drink, perhaps.
All right, 2 silver. You haven't drank your first one?
I've been drinking it one more
okay.
time. And one for yourself.
Oh, I drink that whenever I want anyway. Takes the 2 silver, gets you another mug. It's kind of like, it's like Kolsch. It's like quite watery beer, but it's quite refreshing. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, I'll just keep drinking until these lot turn up.
Okay. These guys actually arrive not super long after you because you were in the tavern for quite a long time, eavesdropping. Yeah, you guys make your way to the Happy Bee. You get the same sort of stink of stale booze and sweat. And as you enter, you hear like a pair of half-orc twins are arm wrestling. They look like the Mitchell brothers, and they're kind of like, but it seems almost like an even draw until one of them kicks the other under the table and then wins, and then they're like, "He cheated, Dad!" And he's like, "Shut up!" The barkeep's just like, "Shut up!"
Oh, the bee on the sign looked so happy.
I know.
This is a happy place. He's like, "That's why I called it. It's Happy Bee. Be happy."
Oh, I get it.
And he starts laughing. He's he just starts laughing this. And usually Juto's just sat at the bar drinking beer.
Juto was served in here, so that doesn't usually happen to us. Well,
Fair enough. I'm gonna get a drink.
sure.
I'm gonna look around for Melody as well and Hank.
So she has got, in the corner, the people having the arm wrestle are having to squeeze up into the other corner of the bar because Hank has just done this on like 3 chairs and like is just keeping 3 chairs like
Nice.
locked down. And Melody's just like writing in a journal, like she's got like some trinkets, some sort of like little rune stones that are on like leather straps and some sort of timepiece, and she's just making notes about them.
Gonna scoot up next to Juto. Like, so enjoying the local hospitality then, Juto, eh?
It's about time someone recognised me for the person I am.
What? Hot drinker?
No, older.
I just don't think they really care that much.
I don't think they have laws for like underage drinking. Do you have laws
Either
for underage
way.
drinking, Barkeep?
Not here, no. If you've got coin, you can be 10 and I'd give you booze.
Wow. Can I have...
Puts the hair on your chest, that's what I say.
Yeah, I wish. No, I've got a bit of hair. Who am I kidding?
This is Morlack.
Morlack.
Morlack, owner of the Happy Bee. Be happy.
I'm
he
happy.
Like, leans in.
I'm happy as hell.
Good.
Really happy.
Good.
Are those yours?
Those are my boys?
Yeah.
And he points over, he's like, yeah, they're my boys.
I mean, if they weren't, that would have been really racist. I'm glad.
He just grins. He's just like,
Your finest ale and your smoothest wine.
my finest ale. Why, certainly, my lord. And he kind of like does like
Thank
a fake
you.
sort of like.
Technically, I asked for the same, but I
You
guess-
said an ale.
all right.
You didn't say finest ale. He's like, Thomas, Kirk, a finest ale for our lord. And they're like,
Thank you.
And they like get up and they
They
go out
certainly
into
know how
the
to
back.
make me happy.
He's like, that's gonna be 10 gold.
10 gold.
You said finest ale.
There is no ale in Talus Val that's 10 gold.
And he just waits.
Just a regular one, Cam? No, just normal.
You want my finest?
Did you pay
It
10
costs-
gold?
No, she had a normal ale.
2.
2 silver. For a
What
regular.
makes it so fine?
It's really fucking good.
Can I have a taste?
No,
Why not?
because it's fucking expensive.
Alright. I'll pay 10 gold.
Good.
Better be good.
He just dropped 10 gold.
Yeah.
Like scoops it up, counts it, bites it.
This is going to be the best ale I've ever had.
The
I
boys
hope so.
bring out a. It actually looks like quite a plain looking, almost like a ceramic looking jug, but it's sealed. You can see it's got like a really heavy wax stopper. They bring it over, and he just looks at you, and he flashes a symbol. Give me a history check.
Okay. What D20s?
There.
Did you eat them all?
Natural 1.
You have no idea.
How am I
And
rolling so
he
many?
points it and he's like, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and then he cracks it open, he pulls the wax back, and this aroma of almost like a faint citrusy kind of smell mingled in with wheat and hops. And he pours it, and it's this beautiful amber frothy beer.
like a
And it
honey
perfectly
waterfall.
fills a pint glass that he puts towards you.
You weren't kidding. 10 gold, though.
You drink it, it is the single nicest beer you've had. You don't know why or how, but just drinking this is the best beer you've ever had in your life.
How on earth did you find this?
He like thumbs towards First Light, and he goes like, "You see, the thing is, wizards fucking love drinking, and they have all the best booze. What do you think I'd buy off all the salvages, you silly twat? I got the best ports, I got the best wines, I got the best liquors, best beers."
That's amazing.
I know.
No wonder it's called the Happy Bee.
Exact. Somebody gets it. Way! And he like claps, and the two like half-orc boys are like, "Way! Nice one, Dad."
Do you have any rice wine?
What's that like? What does it look like?
It's a clear liquor, fermented from rice.
Alright. Clear liquor. I've got. Hang on. He goes back and he comes out with 2 bottles. One is like a glass bottle with kind of almost like ivy leaves crawling up of it, and then the other one is a smaller bottle, ceramic with another wax stopper, with painted sort of almost like a watercolor effect. And he goes like, "These are the only 2 clear liqueurs I have, or like clear boozes. Don't really know. I think this one comes from somewhere really far away. Don't know where this one comes from. We found it in some wizard's store. Wasn't stored under anything. He had a couple of bottles of this. Don't know. I have to sell them for quite a lot because I don't know what they are, and they could be really good."
How much?
Probably say that was 10. Call it for the small bottle, 6 gold. For this one, probably 15.
Can I do like some kind of check to see if either of them is like, you know,
Yeah, it'd be a history check.
from my region? 11.
11. The smaller ceramic bottle looks more like the types of things they had in Brasaris, but you're not sure.
I will buy the small one.
6 gold.
Yep. Swooch.
Takes it back. It's about like this big, quite small. Ceramic wax stopper, so you actually physically have to like pull it and rip it open effectively. But as you do, this very strong alcohol smell kind of hits you. There is a hint of plum.
Okay, yeah, I start drinking it.
Yeah, you think it's a plum wine. It's like a sweet plum wine, which is from Brasaris. Yeah, it's very strong. Probably if you drink the whole thing, it's going to be a Constitution save.
I give a very happy sigh,
Okay, and just dip into the cup.
just like, tastes like home.
Oh, that's
Thank
rice
you.
wine. Rice, look, what is it?
It is plum wine, but it is still from the same region I am from.
Oh. It's hard to, this ale's kind of reset my palate.
I drank the whole thing.
Constitution saving throw.
Okay. Is it strong? It looks strong.
18.
18, yeah, you're fine. Actually, you're immune to poisons as a monk. I don't think you can physically get drunk anymore.
Wow.
You
It's
just
like a
process it.
Soft drink then.
It's just,
Smells alcoholic.
it smells incredibly alcoholic. High proof.
How did you drink that?
How did you do that?
You turned it into chi.
It is
Just
from
burn
my
it.
homeland. I am used to it.
I don't get it. This ale's hit me already. By the
Good
way,
stuff.
thank you. We bumped into a couple of people, interesting characters in town. One is Malady, who's sitting over there with a metal man called Hank. She's actually saved
called
seats
Hank?
for us.
Yeah, Barkeep just kind of chuckles to himself.
And we spoke to Alcazar.
Oh, you're braver than most. Talking to that crazy
He
bird.
was very nice to us, actually.
Did you touch his stuff?
No.
Did you treat him like an idiot?
No.
Then you're all right.
Yeah.
We were warned.
We were warned by
beforehand.
Malady.
That's
Quite
good.
glad.
Smart. Yeah, if you treat him like an idiot, because he can't talk proper, he gets very upset.
Imagine he gets quite riled
smart.
up.
Smart fella.
We've uncovered some information.
Oh, I'm going to close my ears, obviously private.
Is he closing his ears?
He's doing this and then he just walks to the other end of the bar.
No, I'm surprised he's not trying to soak it up. But basically, we
Can I
heard
keep a lookout? Who's around us in the bar? I don't want to.
Yeah.
maybe we should
Perception check.
scoot over to Malady and continue this conversation.
15.
Troy quickly changes the subject of what he was talking about as people make checks.
I see them
14.
looking around.
14, would you get, Kim?
15.
15. Kim, you spot there's a couple of, they look like just traders, like half-elf dude and human woman. You can see that they do have tabards with green on them, like green blades, and they're just listening. They're kind of keeping an eye on and listening to you guys. Kind of obviously sparked by the curiosity of strangers in the town.
We are being listened to.
Or by the orc.
No.
Oh, maybe we should go to the Malady.
Let's go and chat to Melody about
She's great.
her day.
If you talk about Hank, you won't hear the end of it.
It's quite fascinating, though.
She made him, and now he's his own thing. He's his own.
Her
Hank.
life's work. Hank.
Salvaged him and made him.
Yeah. Should we move over to Melody?
Okay.
We will go and sit next to her.
Barkeep,
Hello,
Mallorca, or whatever.
Morlack
Morlack.
is the name.
What does Malady like? What's her favourite drink?
She tends to drink wine. Some of the nice wines from the wizards.
I'll take a wine.
Yeah, Red Dragon Crush.
That sounds fancy.
That's all right.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
How much is that?
Do you want a whole bottle or a couple of glasses?
One glass, actually.
Just one?
Why two?
Oh, I thought you sounded fancy.
It's for Malady.
Oh, yeah, 3 gold. It's
You've already
nice.
got
It's
one, haven't you?
very good stuff.
No, I'm okay.
Okay. 1 Dragon Crush.
3
Glass.
gold.
3.
Red Dragon Crush is one of the finest vintages in all of the land.
Thank you.
Takes a very ornate-looking bottle, kind of engraved with like a dragon made of glass. Pours out this thick, luscious red.
How do you keep this place under lock and key?
He just cracks his neck and flexes his massive ham knuckles.
I think the
And
family
then
has it
the
under
two
control.
brothers are kind of like, are pretty big-looking dudes as well. He's like, we're all right.
Yeah.
He taps the giant great axe on the wall. He's just like, besides, I have excellent customer service.
Oh, yeah. I look at them. Is there any blood on them?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like dried blood, both edges.
Very few
And the handle.
complaints. All right. Thank you.
I like this orc.
Yeah, he's good. Let's go see Malady and Hank.
So you make your way over, and Hank kind of raises up an arm at one point, and then Melody's like, Oh, no, Hank, it's fine. Yeah, no, let them in. And he kind of like, and he gets up and then stands sort of behind the chairs and just stands there with his arms folded like a big metal bouncer.
Thanks, Hank.
He just nods his head.
Juto, this is Malady.
Hello, Tiefling, lovely to meet you. She offers a hand.
Hello, Ms.
Malady Jones.
Ms. Jones.
And like, very vigorously shakes your hand. She's like looking. Your tail. Do you have full control of the tail?
Yes.
Can you can manipulate it?
Yes.
How fine is your motor skills?
I flick a can in the face.
Like just clip him around like the ear or
She's
something.
lost
Just
complete control.
That's incredible. To think that you have such fine advantage. And the horns, and she like goes to. Are these solid?
Yes.
How are you
Do they hurt? Do you feel? Is it like a bone structure? What is that like?
I can sense you touching them.
And she like writes some notes
How
down.
have you not set her on fire yet?
She's a scientist, a researcher. She searches for facts.
Fascinating. Never really met tieflings. Fortunately, very difficult to get into Brasaris these days. Seem to be very cautious about letting you go in and see any of the cities. Not being able to. Was your day successful?
Very.
Good.
And we're hoping it's going to be more successful.
Oh, excellent.
We've got a bit of information to share with you. If you can make sure Hank has no one near us,
Hank, make sure nobody is near us.
like kind of just keep a space.
Hank takes like a few steps backwards and then turns around and just looks around.
Cool.
Can we see the people in the green uniforms?
Yeah.
Are they still
They're watching, but you reckon if you'll talk low enough, they probably can't hear you. But they're just like, they're sipping their drinks and chatting, but then they'll just occasionally they'll just side-eye seeing what you're doing.
So we spoke with Alakar. Alazam? Alashazam?
Alcazar. Yes.
Fascinating.
Yes, he's a strange, wonderful little creature.
I'm worried that now my sentences are part of his dialogue, but
Oh, no, most certainly. He'll use those. If you say something interesting to him, he'll keep it.
Used quite
Very
a few
good
of
memory.
yours, actually.
Yes, I imagine
maybe I
so.
told him too much and he's going to use that. Never mind.
Possibly.
We found out that he knows the Emerald Enclave could be slightly corrupted,
No.
and that's why
No, I've been working with
at
them
least
for
a
months.
part of them.
really think so?
Yes, and he mentioned...
And she like looks a bit nervous and she looks around.
I'm going to show her the parchment of this.
Yes, 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 I have one of these maps as well.
He showed us an area, Sir 14th.
Sir 14th, Sir 14th. That's quite a... that's quite a far away from the southern entrance.
He thinks there's
The deeper you go into First Light, from what I'm to understand, is... well, yeah, the more intact the city is, but also the higher the risk of
Bad
monsters and creatures and spectres and things like that you can encounter. Unfortunately, a lot of dead wizards, so a lot of strange occurrences did occur. It's believed that the arcane ghouls may have been wizards that somehow survived but were mutated. But also you get ghosts, spectres, wraiths, all sorts of terrible badness as you get deeper into the city.
The badness we're trying to locate is missing children.
Should hold a hand up.
Yeah, we're here.
You don't think that the Emerald Archive would be involved in something like that?
Not necessarily, we're jumping to conclusions.
We don't know, but we just keep it on that down.
Sorry. Yes. Oh, well, can I help in any way?
Yes.
Yes, well, I mean, children. My services are yours.
14th Sir. Or Sir
14th
That's our first location where Alcazar, Alaman,
You had it right.
Alcazar, he thinks there's something up with the Emerald Enclave there. They're doing something wrong.
It's possible. There is one thing you should be aware of. There are portions of the city, these maps don't have them indicated, there are portions of the city which have been blocked off, collapsed buildings, magical surges which have created force fields. They're problematic to getting around. But I do happen to know that there is a network of tunnels. They used to run almost like a transportation service. The horseless carriages I told you about, they run them in tunnels beneath the city, allowing people to get to and from locations very, very easily.
Are they still running, some of them?
No, they don't. Well, some of them still have power, but most of the tracks have been covered with debris or fall shards, but the tunnels can still be used to walk through. To get to Sir and 14th, I do happen to know that a portion of, from the southern gate, if you were entering at least, that's this one here. There's a portion here which has been blocked off, two large buildings collapsed on each other. It's quite dangerous to climb over as well. But there is an entrance to one of these tunnels that should run it around about somewhere along this, along the western side.
Interesting. How do you fare joining us?
Oh, well,
With Hank?
I'd love to. I mean,
You can take whatever scavenging you can come across.
really? Well, yes. The Enclave normally make me give them everything I find. And you're saying I could keep it?
Yes. In return for us helping rescue these children.
Yes, of course, yes. No, of course. I mean, there's very few people in the town that knows half as much of the old technology as I do. There are security systems that I've learned roughly how to disable. My skills are yours. If I'm allowed to keep whatever I can.
Invaluable to our cause. And we have reason to believe there's bad...
Can I make a request?
Yes.
I've wanted to go to a part of the city that the Emerald Enclave won't let me go to. Now, you know that First Light was once ruled by mages. They had their great colleges here where they taught students of magic. Now, I know that the Masters used something called the Nexus, a kind of teleportation hub that allowed them to go to anywhere in the city that they needed to go. They used these rooms, teleportation rooms, that allowed them to jump between places. I want to go to the Nexus. The magic there, the research I could learn about transportation would be invaluable. If we can find a way to there, I would be so grateful.
If perchance we find the Nexus first, there could be a way to teleport us to 14th Sir.
Yes, absolutely. Most certainly there would be.
Undetected.
Yes.
Whereabout is this nexus?
Well, that's the problem. You need to find one of these rooms and activate it. The Nexus is a dimensional plane, a pocket dimension. It exists between planes. If we can get there, I believe I'll need to use one of the previous Magister's rooms. We may need to locate a power source for it as well. Electrum shards tend to power most of the city's technology. Large chunks of raw electrum. They conduct magical power incredibly well.
I'm
Would we
nodding,
be
but it's
able
not
to
so
find-
Yeah, it's just all blah, 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 blah.
Would we be able to find that from some of the stalls within
No,
the town?
unfortunately not. They're very difficult to acquire. Primarily, they were used for large buildings. Most of those have been inhabited by ghouls or other ghosts or monsters, and the other ones are being held by the Sentinels, and trying to get one of them is a nightmare. Even the Emerald Enclave don't mess with the Sentinels.
And you say the arcane ghouls drain magic.
Yes, that's something to be wary of. If they hit you, their claws, not only are they infused with magical energy, but they can siphon it away from you as well.
I've heard stories that First Light itself, like because of these huge shards, also just naturally drain magic. So
No, a common misconception. There are parts of the city where, yes, there is anti-magical fields in place caused by the Force Shards, but what most people don't realise is these Force Shards affect each other. Having so many in close proximity, instead, magic functions in most of the city, but there are places where magic is unstable. If any of you are spellcasters and we encounter one of these fields, your magic may act strangely.
Do you know
Creatures
where
like Hank and the Sentinels are fine. Living creatures seem to be the only ones affected.
Do you know where those fields are, roughly, from your travels?
I'm afraid not. They tend to move around the city. They ebb and flow on the ley lines of magic. Generally, I will be able to, if I see one coming, I will be able to warn you. We can evade it. They are slow moving. But if one happens to block a particular passage that we need, we may need to traverse through it.
We are spellcasters, some of us, but we do also have other tricks up our sleeve. Well,
In most cases, you can use magic within the city, but large displays of magic can attract the ghouls as well. Anything that is particularly potent may draw ghouls to us.
good to know.
By all means, if you must use it, use it. I mean, the ghouls can be defeated. They are creatures at the end of the day, and Hank and I have fought at least one. But it's something to be aware of, if nothing else.
I have more information.
You do?
Apparently, there is a big salvage operation in a few days. The Emerald Enclave have found something in the shopping centre at the third quarter, Bigby's Square or something.
Bigby Square is this secondary region. Now the third
Green region.
quarter indicates so it is 1, 2, 3, 4. This would be this third quarter here. If they found something. Now Bigby Square is behind one of the inner walls. Most of the gates for that were shut during when the Lightfall occurred, but we can access it through using the underground tunnels as well. And now, if they're talking about a big shard, this could be an electrum core. They're very valuable, and one of those would fetch an extreme price to anybody who's researching into First Light technology.
Would that help power?
That, I believe, would power a teleportation room.
We could get there first. Light.
when
We'll
did
need
they
to
say
make
it
our way
would
through
be?
the tunnels.
A few days.
A few days.
If we leave tonight,
Yes, I can have my things ready to go immediately.
use the tunnels from the south gate to get to this shopping area, get the power source, find the Nexus, teleport to 14th Sir, rescue the children if they're there. You
do we
get
know
loads of
they're
artifacts
there,
and
though?
knowledge.
How do we know that they are there?
We don't, but that's our first lead.
The barkeep mentioned that he had not seen any children or Broken Sky agents in the city.
In this city.
In this city.
But they could have gone straight to First Light.
How many guards typically patrol the entrance to the city?
Well, now that's the difficult part. The Emerald Enclave basically has a monopoly on salvages going in and out of the city. Now, I technically am allowed to enter, but they will question me if you're travelling with me. Do you have ways that you can disguise yourselves or perhaps render yourselves undetectable?
Can one of us fit inside Hank?
No, he has gears and things, and she kind of protectively places a hand.
Oh, so he's not hollow.
No. He has components inside of him.
Right. I can
If you were to
disguise.
be able to shrink yourself down, you could probably fit inside him.
Elora could do that.
Yes, yes. If you can do that, then that's definitely one option.
I can look like somebody else,
Yes, that would do.
and Juto can be invisible.
After a long rest.
We couldn't go
I
now.
can help with that. I can make you invisible.
Well then, perfect.
Excellent. I'm really sorry, guys. I'm gonna have to take a break. My stomach is actually really hurting, so I'm gonna need to nip to loo. Steve, can we just take another quick 5-minute break? I'm afraid. Sorry, man.
5-minute break.
Cheers. Thanks.
We'll be
Sorry,
back momentarily for the last 20 minutes.
Okay.
Hey, sorry about that, guys. My bad. Just wasn't feeling super well for a second. But we're back now. And I think we're just going to wrap stuff up there because we don't want to get too far ahead. We're not going to have Katie next week. So we're going to wrap up there. But so the plan is that you guys want to head into the city with Malady and
First
Hank.
light.
Okay, so that's where we'll pick up things next time, basically. I think, you guys, do you want to stay in the inn this evening and then go in the morning, or do you want to go
I kind of want to
straight
leave
away?
Straight away.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Under the
Yeah.
cover of
I'm thinking there's children and we've got to save them. Let's go now.
Sounds perfect. Well,
Under
yeah,
the
in that
cover of
case,
night.
you guys gather your things and we'll pick things up.
I tell Malady, if there's any supplies, first
yeah.
light.
She has
what you
everything
need.
she needs, so she already has everything she needs. So she just grabs everything from her room.
All right, I tell her, I'll disguise myself. And can I polymorph Laura at the same time?
Well, Laura can just wild shape
I
herself.
know, but I kind of want them because
Okay.
if magic's messed up in the city,
You want to be able to.
I want to be able to utilize
Beast
because
form.
beast shape's the only thing
Yeah,
that
if you want to
magic
cast
hasn't.
polymorph, yeah, you can easily do that.
As well as disguise self?
Are they concentration spells?
Yeah, that's what I'm going to have to check. Well, I can check
It's fine. If I'm meh. I'm not going to be here anyway,
Disguise
so
self
just do
is
whatever with me.
first level.
Do whatever with me. I could
I'm
use
almost
beast
certain
shape because
One of them won't be.
Let's see.
I don't think polymorph is it? Surely it's just you cast it and then they
it's just an
say.
action self for an hour. Yeah, there's no concentration with disguise self.
So polymorph is concentration.
Oh, it is.
So I'd focus
Disguise
on that
self.
one and just disguise myself.
Yeah, you can easily do that.
Cool. That's good then. I'll
Perfect.
be doing that next
All right,
week.
sweet.
That would
So that's
be
what we'll
fun.
do next week.
Ish.
I will
Sweet.
I can give my sheet to someone if they want, but
Don't worry about it. I got it covered.
Oh,
don't kill me or maim me in some way.
I'm not gonna do that.
look at that face.
Why would I do that?
That's what Sylval
Well,
and Crownrend are gonna do.
That's,
Kim
the
went
wrong
away when she
campaign.
was her replacement character, and she came back with one arm. So I mean,
That was her replacement character, though.
yeah,
I,
but
was like,
still.
I knew that was only temporary, so.
Lol. Cool. Let's read
Cool.
some donations.
So let's read
shall
some
we?
donations.
If there
Sorry
aren't
about that last minute breaky.
Sorry, guys, and I'm sorry for my fucking
Oh
hell.
my life.
Jesus.
That was horrendous. Steve hates you. Chat hates you.
No, they don't.
Probably
do they?
do.
They probably do.
Probably do. That was really loud.
Nobody likes me anymore.
Ever.
Anymore.
Anyway.
Rom Rapara donated $3. Thank you
Thank
very
you
much.
very
What a
much.
hot.
With a heart.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rom.
Hamish the Pure has donated. The Pure.
The pure.
Have a wonderful day, you guys, and every single person in chat. You all deserve it. Oh, and subscribe to Oz Mills. I know he'll hate me for
That's
saying that.
Osmils is a friend of mine who does some RPG streams as well. And does a
Pluggity
lot,
plug.
does a lot with us.
Yep.
Wolf.
Super Mega Boom Pow donated, saying, can't watch live today as I'm on my way back to England after being in Germany to see family. Here's to hoping no one dies. Thanks again for the awesome adventure. Hashtag Cam needs to get laid.
Damn right Cam does. All the time.
Good and hog.
It's a shame that he's like terrible with just
Yeah, technically,
talking to
like-
people.
He's got charisma. He's just
Technically,
not got the
Kayla's gotten
brains.
more than him.
Yeah.
Already.
It's the way it's the
is
way
true.
The way
Cam
he
is,
puts
though.
himself forward.
Yeah, it's the way he puts himself forward.
Nightjar donated with a love heart. Thank you very much.
Thank
With a
you,
whole love
Nightjar.
hearts. Sam donated. This is the best 17th birthday I've ever had. High Rollers and Game of Thrones.
Happy
birthday.
Happy birthday.
Peter Dinklage.
Dark
don't watch
Slayer 1998 has donated, saying, Annihilation!
Annihilation.
What's that?
In the tomb of annihilation.
Oh, for God's sake. Every time you say it, it gets less and less cool.
So happy with yourself.
It's definitely in the minuses now.
Yeah, it's in the minuses.
I'm happy with myself.
I know you are. Yin Yanger has donated saying, been a great birthday weekend. Another birthday
Birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday.
Been a great birthday weekend. Get to watch HighRollers eat some peanut butter curry chicken.
Oh,
Wow.
shit.
Wow. And received many happy greetings from friends and family. Hope you liked the drawing I got of Alora from Kuzang. I got one of Juto too. Have a great session. I did. I retweeted it. It's very cute. Very adorable. Thank
Question
you
Girls
very
is
much.
great.
Thank you,
Very,
Vanguard
very
Badger, for donating.
Thank you very
Very
much.
nice. And Lucas Keaton for donating, saying, just donate to say thank you guys for doing the stream. It's a highlight of my week. Also, Mark, keep up the good work with Tabletop Weekly. That's
Will do.
youtube.com/Tabletop Weekly.
Thanks, Chris Pratt.
You're currently editing the thing that I'm in.
Yes.
So it's within his interest.
How not to play War Machine.
Yeah.
Lol.
Sky Silverwing donated. That whole which mission comes first question would have gone a lot differently if Allura had been one level higher. Transport via plants and other teleportation spells make distance a moot point when you have a place when you've been in a place before.
Yep. True.
Yep.
True dat.
Yep. I mean, it's not like the party don't know people that they could have gone to for teleportation, but
Yeah, but also
Always comes out
children.
twice.
yeah, no, I'm not. You guys.
I
pick
sat
when you
down
want.
and I wrote that letter and I was like, yeah, Laura would, yeah. She.
Marwoleth01 has donated and says, cheeky question for Mark's following last week's shopping trip. Since Canon has shown Nimbus returns to Cam's hand through teleportation, does that mean Cam could exchange it for a few gold /ale/board, etc., then summon it back when he leaves?
No, it depends. There is certainly a magic in the transferal of ownership.
Oh,
Oh, interesting.
true.
What if I pretended?
You'd have to deceive them.
Also, can I concentrate to keep
Probably.
it there before it gets summoned back again? It
we'll
feels like
see.
it's an instantaneous.
Maybe.
Alright.
You'd have to try it.
Okay.
Metamanu has donated saying, hey guys, I can't watch live tonight because I'll be creating my first ever D&D character. Just for funsies, not for a campaign, but I'm still very excited, so support time nonetheless. I think a lot of people enjoy just making characters.
I make
Yeah.
characters all the time.
I had to
Characters
make a
I'll
backup.
never be able to play.
Never.
Right.
Lightning Wolf donated saying, I won't be able to catch the stream live. Love the new hair. Also, it's my birthday. Happy birthday.
Birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday.
So I thought I'd give some money to the best D&D group in the world. Thank you for giving on your birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy
generous.
birthday.
Go.
Fisherman. Big fan of HRs. Inspired me to start DMing for me and my girlfriend, including buying the D&D books, DMG, PHP, Monster Manual. Would I be able to send my books to the new PO box with prepaid packaging for return to get them signed by you guys? If not, no worries, Sam. So when there is a new PO box, you can do that, Sam. 2 caveats. 1, we can't promise it will be returned quickly because it's just trying to get people to sign stuff, and the way things move around here it's a bit slowly.
Yeah.
So that's
Neither do I.
Katie and Kim not being here on a regular basis is a big problem for that. 2, we can't guarantee that there won't be postal problems and getting them back to you and stuff. The better way is to come to an event and get them signed by us in person. Like,
But if you can't do that,
if you
PO
can't
box
do that, you
works.
can do the PO box thing.
Or would you
once
be
one
happy
gets announced.
if we sent you like a card or something?
We don't have any cards.
We don't have them.
Well, a piece of paper.
We can do that.
Just glue
I
it
think
in the
I'd
front.
rather sign somebody's book. So
You can, but we don't have a PO box update yet.
Yet.
Keep an eye
there
out.
you
Go
go.
with it.
Tucker2025 says, I'm far too hungover from last night's celebrations to
Lol.
think up a funny.
Please don't tell me it was another birthday, Tucker.
Was it another birthday?
Birthday.
Happy birthday! Happy birthday!
It may not be. They could just be celebrating night.
Yes. All around has donated with no message. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And Captain Winch has donated saying, can't watch the stream due to DMing myself.
Wee.
Here to chip in a wee bit. Sorry for the fractured donation on Friday. Catch you all later. Also giving vague dreams to my players is fun.
Ooh.
Foreshadowing's always fun.
Yep.
Thank you very much for your generous
Thank you.
donations on Friday's stream as well.
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you very much.
Techie Reed donated P1, part 1.
Yeah.
Part
Hi guys, I'm back from what felt like an extremely long June, which rolled into the beginning of July. But it ended last week with our DM, generic evil genius, taking our motley crew to a cabin in the woods for the weekend, if you remember. And then part two, there's another $20. Jesus. Can you
a
say a
lot.
huge thanks to him for getting us all to go along with it. And just a huge thank you to you guys and Steve for everything you do. Keep on rolling. Thank you very much.
Thank
Techie
you.
Reed.
And thanks
And
to
then
you, DM.
Generic evil genius has
Yes.
donated.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Holy shit. Yeah, in between. All right. You read that one.
Hi guys, thanks for being so entertaining. You really helped to make better what's otherwise been a super crappy week for me. Also, a question for Mark. After reading through Volos, I'm wondering if Tharizdun was a freed spectator rather than a full beholder.
Yes.
The penny drops! Yeah, he was never a full beholder. He was a spectator all along.
Will.
He only had 4 eye stalks, if you remember. I said he had 4 eye stalks, not 8.
Juto wouldn't know that.
I know, you guys didn't know that, and that's fine.
No, but we knew after. I think you said after the stream.
I told you guys afterwards, but a lot of audience people still thought he was
really?
a full beholder for
Okay.
years.
Q Pixels Tunes has donated. Love the Breath of the Wild vibe in New Light. Ancient magical tech. Won't be able to catch the next 2 streams. I'll be in San Diego for Comic Con.
Hey,
Oh wow! I hope I
jelly.
can survive the heat. The week went fast. Overwatch is addictive, isn't it? Where my diva main's at?
Yo,
Not
yo.
here.
Not me.
Sorry.
I wish I was going to
Lucio.
say here. I hadn't thought of that. It wasn't actually Breath of the Wild. It was more Fallout inspired. But I can see the Breath of the Wild stuff.
Yeah. Ruined City. Yeah.
Gulliman has donated saying steampunk, awesome, cool session all round. P.S. Get well soon, Kim. Best wishes.
Thank you.
It's better.
Leo the Lion. Great episode as always, High Rollers. Is the highlight of my week. Had a tough afternoon with a very ragey, sleepy toddler.
Yikes.
But High Rollers, once he was in bed, made me feel better. I'm glad.
Lovely.
Wake up! Wake up! Sorry.
Such an asshole. Steve, you just like killed Steve as well.
Steve hates you right now.
Ace of Thorns donated. Isn't Juto sweet with her new furry friend? Chin Tiddles 3 to make up. Chin Tiddles 3 to make up. I don't get it.
I don't get it.
But maybe it's because I'm tired, Ace.
I think it's Flux Buddies.
Oh, I
He's
see.
referring to Tiddles and that, who just kept dying and
Oh,
dying
I
and dying.
see. There you go.
And
That's
his,
a Fluke's Woods.
I think his PC broke.
Yeah, P.S. Best not so. I'm sorry to hear, man. I did hear. Hope that gets solved.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Poor guy.
Oh,
Holy shit.
Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba.
Mr. Zixhill has donated a no!
Thank you so much.
For the finest ale, thanks for all the hours of D&D fun.
Quite a literal 100
finest
gold, a 10 gold
ale.
GP.
There you go. Holy shit. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We can't give you any ale.
Aaron Bear has donated, here's a small cookie fund from Trot's eating cookie last Friday. Yeah,
Thank
I'm
you.
sorry, okay?
Thank you.
There's a Twitch clip on our
Did you steal his cookie?
No, I
Bit
took,
half of it.
I not even half. I took like a tiny bit of it and ate it, and it took him like a few minutes to
To
notice.
realise.
And then there's a Twitch clip of it, and when I got caught.
I did offer you half of my cookie.
I didn't want it until he left it there for like half an hour.
Love. Whose go is it?
Yours.
Movies Man 8 donated saying the party talked to a bird that has only met 3 people. Voice is either soft or gritty. Best character ever. Needs more ass and titty. Thank you.
I like how he
Every
always
time.
rhymes
Every time.
that, movie man.
Lol.
He technically had more than 3 voices. But
Yeah,
Mark
a few.
only has a certain range. I'm afraid that
There
Mark
was a
cannot
few others.
sound like an old woman.
Emerald Enclave.
TSG donated. High Rollers, donating again for those who can't and want to share the love for you amazing people. Hope you feel better soon, Mark. Go and subscribe to Tabletop Weekly and support our beautiful rollers on their personal endeavours. Lots of love. Thank you. Just don't worry about it. It's fine.
Just don't worry about it. Just don't worry about it.
Lots of like.
Oh, okay.
Everyone's gonna think I'm like dying now.
HS Arco has donated. Hope you get better, Mark. Rest up, bud. And who's happy with the new Doctor? I know I am.
Oh, yes.
That's a Doctor Who thing.
I don't
care.
watch it.
Don't watch it.
Interested. Sorry.
I know the
sure it's
actress,
cool.
but
Daft Dave 41 has donated saying, Mark, excellent work with the NPCs this stream. Kim, was it a nice biscuit? Keep rolling high, guys. Was it a nice biscuit?
That fucking
it's one of these
biscuit.
stale.
It's one of those
weird
like
ones
go
from the
ahead
office.
type breakfast bar
Healthy
things.
in the
Yeah,
office.
it's like
Crispy.
Is it? It's not even that healthy, to be honest.
It's been around for ages.
Can I go?
Yes, sure go.
Awkward Dog Boner has donated. This week's boner rating. Birthday out of 20. Not mine, but just sing that tune again.
Birthday.
Happy birthday,
happy birthday, happy birthday.
Raging hard on moment. Lady Amy making Korat's blade easier to get out than put in. Erection rejection moment. That biscuit confirms Kim spits doesn't swallow. It doesn't make like grammatical sense, but hashtag Bone on Sunday.
I was wondering where you were, awkward dog boner.
There he
you
is.
are.
Always lurking.
And then
Always in my
Fisherman. Cheers for the
Fisherman.
advice. Would you guys be at MCM London in October? If so, hope to see you, Sam.
The aim is.
The aim is
to, yeah.
we will always confirm closer to the date because
We never
things like
announce
Exactly.
events until we know.
yeah. And
Yeah.
so
Don't we?
I hope
People.
we will.
Being on the other side of it, yeah.
it's likely we'll be there, but nothing's confirmed.
Things confirmed.
More yes than no.
More yes than no.
But there's
I like
still
that.
no.
There's still some no.
There's doubt.
Don't
Right.
confirm before the event, you little shits.
That is it. Thank you very much for watching this week, guys. We will be back on Friday
I'm not
for
gonna
some
see you for so
uncharted
long.
territory. Katie
Yeah.
won't be there,
Katie will
sadly.
swap from Matt
sorry.
on Friday,
On
and then
Fri-
Sunday
yeah.
you'll find out.
Who?
It's probably going to be Tom.
Probably Tom. Probably Tom.
Probably Tom.
Bye, everybody. See you
Bye,
Friday.
everybody.
See you
See you soon.
soon.
Thanks for watching.